They said I sold out. Joke's on you. My wallet's broke, but the globe came through. I ain't rich, I'm just rich in proof. Y'all still spinning circles trying to find the roof. I'm living rent free. If I make a post, y'all start seeing red. You brag, you're gifted. You're all so smart, can't get an angle off a tangent. Okay, retard, they at least compromise. Scratching their ass, we demand that once his boarding pass. Say I faked an article, bro, please hush. You ain't even been outside since Candy Crush. Under the bus, they roll me flat, but I bounce right up like it wasn't that bad. You got nothing, no answer, you're the movement's dead. I got photo sunspots and 310s in my bed. Under the bus, they screaming shit. Now to sell out, I still got all these bills. Call me a traitor, saying that I'm a fake. You have no map, no motto, and no clue. For fuck's sake, under the bus, but I dusted off fine. I seen the South Sun circle, y'all still stuck online. 10 years deep, I questioned it all, but y'all can't admit we went over that wall. Under the bus, they threw me twice, but I'm still that dude who thinks precise. You can meme me, scream me, call me fake, but I'm the only one out here showing the way. They can't fake it, so they hate it. Truth too heavy, that we fake it. I went south, they blind, they reach online, screaming CGI. They can't face it, so they hate it. They call it lies, yet they can't debate it. They rather call me and admit they're wrong. Mine's weak, but my will's still strong. He's a Freemason, reptile clone, bro. I can't even get a damn payday loan. I'm broke as hell and I rent my home. I lost my views when I revealed the unknown. My bags hit the edge of the map. You stayed home making memes and talking crap. You don't do research, you just parrot Dave and crew. But things don't work the way they telling you it do. He's a sellout, he's a shill, he's fake. Bro, your best researchers got stuck on vape game. You think I'm compromised? Nah, I'm free, you're the one in chain. Mentally, Dave White says Jaren, he's surely compromised by my app block. Jaren, he's the Antichrist. Didn't give a shit when he leaked my data on his app. He was probably on vacation, taking a nap. I took the L. Y'all can be mad. Truth is problem solved. I follow evidence too. Wherever it leads, I adjust and improve. You stay blind and believe. I saw the ice, I saw the glow. The 24-hour sun put on a show. They call it fake, say it's in the studio. Even when they get debunked, they can't let it go. I'm at the cold. I saw the stars opposite spin. Ask Banjo Brazil if false accusations are a sin. I found peace and evidence and proof. They found comfort in denial and goof. They yell he's he's part of the plan. Guys, well, Duffy is a pastor, not the boogeyman. They call it selling out, nah. It's called growing, but your echo chamber won't allow you to be knowing. They can't face it, so they hate it. Truth's too heavy, say we faked it. I went south, they stay blind. Now they rage online, screaming CGI. They can't face it, so they hate it. They call it lies, but dude, they can't debate it. They rather call me a lie than admit they're wrong. A cold mind's weak, but my will's still strong. 10 years strong, I held the belief. Learned the South was the opposite, the North like they teach. Now they call me Judas, traitor, thief. While they indoctrinate children with a childish belief. Black wants to see my ticket, well, Black can suck a dick. He's as dumb as rocks, if rocks a little prick. If they sat around streaming, bitching in a robe, scared of the truth and became Antarctica folks. They call me traitor, I state fraud, but I saw the globe with my own damn eyes. God, now twist your words, edit your clip, lose another job, fuck up another relation. They ain't scientists, the scared kids lost every learning opportunity lost. They don't want truth, they want belief, faith and fear disguised as relief. For me, I took the heat, I took the fall, I faced the facts, and I stood tall. I'd rather burn in your digital hell than lie to myself just to sell a cell. Don't keep my name in your live stream fight while I sleep comfy every fucking night. You can't undo what I've seen firsthand. Truth ain't flat for fact, it's a globe, my man. And I do it again just to prove what's real. Cause I don't kneel to your cultish feel. They can't face it, so they hate it. Truth's too heavy, say we faked it. I went south, they stay blind. Now they rage online, screaming fake sky. They can't face it, so they hate it. They call it lies, your wives won't debate it. They rather block me or mock me than admit they're wrong. You let they win, but I'm gone, you don't. Get long, house that red song, break the bone.
welcome everybody to another Saturday night festival of lights. No, that's not what it is. It's actually a festival of Garbage Pail Kids. That's what it's going to be. So let's see if everything's going to work well. I don't have high aspirations because it's just, we had it right in the practice, but then when we add the YouTube, it's going to do something terrible. So is the sound okay? I know some people saying in the intro that it wasn't good, and I want to check TikTok. Can you hear me okay? TikTok. Let's see if people start showing up here. Let me get this on the screen so that we can get started. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's see if that should work for you on YouTube, and let's see if TikTok is seeing the same thing. Yes. Okay, we should be good. Everybody says it sounds good. Great. Yes, good. Beautiful. All right, so far so good. We are off to a fantastic start. Good. All right, we're just going to start out while people join in or while they show up with a quick song in honor of the Garbage Pail Kids. So don't go anywhere. It's only 2 minutes, so it'll be a quick song for you. You don't have to go very far. It is quick. If you want to go to the bathroom, you can do that. Otherwise, you just wait right there, and we'll be with you shortly. And we got a super chat, I think. I don't know. 10 gift memberships from Jim Daniels. Wow. That is awesome. Thank you, Jim. Let's go with this one and enjoy this little song that has talks about these good old Garbage Pail Kids. Let's go. Enjoy.
They stink, they smell, and they cannot spell. The kings of the dumpster fire straight out of hell. Reality rejects, don't care about truth. They are fearful of facts, they're allergic to proof. TikTok's worst, kids with noses full of snot. Confidence is high, but their IQ's not. Short attention span, they can't finish a thought. For clip-on and truthers, truth matters not. They don't want truth, or they wouldn't tell lies. Like you can't tell the ground from looking up in the sky. No map, no motto, just vibes and memes. Move the sun or ignore it on the Garbage Pail team. Garbage Pail, talking big, thinking small. Garbage Pail, bouncing brains against the wall. Garbage Pail, take time to look what you did. From mom's basement to our screens, it's the Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail, think they can't be wrong. Garbage Pail, confident and strong. Garbage Pail, toddlers like angels of sight, and it's big dirt daddy getting dirty all night. Garbage Pail, thinks planes nose down. Garbage Pail, say we don't spin around. Garbage Pail, keep on lying to kids. Yes, this is the Garbage Pail Kids. And they
Dink. Welcome back, everybody. That's the song. Hope you enjoyed that one. I did enjoy making it. And it talks about the Garbage Pail Kids. Let me explain something to the Garbage Pail Kids so that they have a better understanding of those of us who were here from the beginning. Okay, so you guys have the luxury of getting to know that the South is what we were taught. The people that came when I came 10 years ago did not have that luxury. Okay, we didn't have we had one video of a 24-hour sun in the South that was looped. That was it. That's all we had. That was the entirety of the South information that we had. So now, could we have gone deeper? Could we have actually found out the truth? Yes, we could have. But I'm saying it was very easy for us to just dismiss it because of the lack of evidence of the South being what we were taught, at least as far as what we were saying at the time. Another thing I wanted to bring up, just so people understand this, I keep getting people who message me and say, oh, you are a hypocrite, or you are pretending that you are now the all-knowing. And no, I keep saying over and over again, and if I have to say it again, so be it, that I am saying I was just like you for 10 years. Okay, I admit that. But I'm admitting that it was a problem, that you become addicted to the little communities that you've built. You become addicted to the people that you think you get along with, and you hate the Globers, and they are rude and call you stupid. So why would you think they could be right? And you become so convinced of your own bullshit that you just start going with it and it becomes a team thing. And now you're just so far from the truth, it's not even funny. So you have the luxury of getting to see what we went down to Antarctica and did. Now, we didn't have that luxury. So you don't have really an excuse. Why doesn't this thing get larger? Thank you. You don't have an excuse anymore. And let me just show this so I can bring this up real quick. If we go to, let me see if this is going to work if I bring it like this. Just want to show you, if you go to my channel, because here's the thing. Here's what most of you TikTokers have done. And if you come on the show tonight and say these things, well, then you're just going to look even more foolish. Because you guys think that we faked the Antarctica trip. What that tells me is that you're incapable of looking at evidence. Incapable of it. Let me give you an example. Let's bring this up here. This is on my channel right now. It's been on there the whole time. This is just my webcam footage, 5.5 hours. And if you think this is fake, you are a very confused individual. Okay, this is, go check out the sun with the infrared. Turn this on here. This is us on a plane. This is not fake footage. That's not fake Mark Herman. That's not a fake airplane. Okay, so when you come on here and say, oh, we think you faked it, you didn't go, you're a sellout, you are just simply stating to everybody that you are incapable of answering any of the questions that we took care of answering. Let me go a little bit further here so you can see where we start to see the beautiful sea ice, and you can see it down there. Something that most people will never see in their life that I was lucky enough to see. We'll keep going a little bit further. They tell us we have to get ready to land, so we have to start putting on our gear. Look at those mountains there in the background, the ice mountains. Look at this, is just ice as far as the eye can see. Oops, let's go back a little bit. So you can see here we are flying in. Let's go to about there. And you can see that we land the plane. Not we. I didn't have anything to do with the landing of it, unfortunately. They wouldn't let me do that, which is rude. Let's go a little bit further. Here we go. So you see us coming in here. I mean, that is Antarctica. If you think this is fake footage, then you should get off the internet. You really should. Because if you can't tell by watching somebody's 5.5 hours, and here's the thing. Remember I said that we had one video of Antarctica? Look what you have now. Dave McKeegan. MC Toon filmed the whole week that he was there. You have everything from Will Duffy. You have everything from Jonathan Cumming, which the documentary's not even out yet. But there's enough information here. Did we already land? Oh, we're flying in. So we'll get a little bit further here just to show you when we land the plane here. Now we're landed on the ice, and you can see us here as we disembark. Now look at this. This is not fake footage. Please wake up. Okay, this is us stepping off the plane in Antarctica. Now, if you look at the sun, north is to my left here. Straight to my left, kind of, right? South would be straight to my right. But when I get off this plane, you'll see that we spin around, and I believe you can see the sun already in the west. Not quite straight west. It's going to be in the northwest-ish. And it just ropes around, okay? So you already have this information. You now have the data. There's the turn around there. You can see the sun's off to the side there. But anyway, you now have the data that tells you that Antarctica exists. And it tells you that the 24-hour sun exists. And it tells you that this is a camp. Look at ALE on the truck. What do you think? They faked this truck? They just painted ALE on the side, say, we're going to fake some guys going to Antarctica. No, they do this every year for 4 months. You can go down there, too. It's expensive. Ask Will Duffy. I heard he's buying people's tickets. But this is just, this is what shows me that the Garbage Pail Kids are not interested in the truth. If you were interested in the truth, you would see footage like this and you'd say, okay, they went to Antarctica. Now let's go from there. There's the sun there. Now north is about, oops, I'm trying to pause it on the screen. North is off. I didn't see how far we turned. Probably not going to see it now. Yeah, so that's kind of a northwest-ish. North is going to be, well, I can't show you now. But anyway, just so you can see that the sun is exactly where it should have been when we left Punta Arenas at 11:30. And on the 14th, and then landed there probably it was 3:30, somewhere in there. And the sun is off to our northwest, okay? And it keeps roping around, and it comes around here south. The plane is about pointed south there. And it comes around. Anyway, what that should tell you as a flat earther is that flat earth is impossible because there is no explanation. Now, you can listen to Nathan Thompson, you can listen to all these guys try and pretend to dearth that there's something else that could be true, or we don't know what the sun does, or we don't know what the sun is, or it's just garbage. The flat earth has become garbage now. There is no map. There is no model. There is no mechanism. There is no way. So all of you who think that you are in the right, I'm here to tell you that you're in the wrong. And if there's anybody you should listen to, it's somebody who was a flat earther for 10 freaking years, who pushed this so freaking hard for 10 years. Okay? If you're choosing to go, I don't want to listen to Jeremy because he faked the trip, then that's not very smart. Look at the screen. Do you really think that we all went down? Where are we at? You listen to Eric Dubay tell us that we're in a studio? Do you listen to King Nico who sits when he pees? Do you listen to him tell you that we faked the trip? Because if you are listening to those people, you are incapable of proper discernment. Okay? You have to have discernment. And then you can just go through this and see, I mean, none of this is fake. We're in the eating place here. This is where the bathrooms are. This is that mountain that's next to us. There's this. By the way, that right there is the sun. Okay, let me show you this. This right here is the sun facing south. Okay, this is about south right there. And at this time right here, the sun is above people's heads in Australia. Okay, so everybody who's a flat earther right now should go, oops, we were wrong. Wait, Jaron, you're saying that is south of Antarctica? South of Antarctica, and it's above the heads of people in Australia. How is that possible? Right. Is there a model that says that's what it predicts will happen? Yes. That model is the globe model. Okay? So it's over. It's over. The Earth will never be flat. It can't be flat. You'll never come up with another map. We've already talked about that many times. Okay, it just won't happen. And so here's me eating the Apollo. Look at Apoyo, my ode to Apollo there. You can see that there. But you'll see that we are in the tents. I mean, this is us in the little La Bamba plane, which I screwed myself on because I was like, I'm not going on the La Bamba plane. And then everybody's like, no, you said we have to fly on the same planes. We can never be separate. Oh, great. So I had to go on the La Bamba plane and fly around Antarctica and the mountains there. And what a sight. Totally pristine. And then you learn when you're there that nobody can go to Antarctica because you'll die. Okay, so you can't walk. You're not going to get a boat to Antarctica. You saw all that sea ice in the water. What are you going to do? Lift your boat up onto the ice, walk a little bit. Now you got to get your boat back in the water, get in the water, go a little bit further, get back up on the ice. No, it's not going to happen. You have to go with one of these companies. Okay, you are not going to make it. Trust me. Here's the gift shop. What is this? CGI gift shop? I guess so. We just rendered that AI. And then I purchased all those things, which I have in the house. There's the conversation when we found out we're leaving early. And then Will gives a presentation. And then Austin and I gave a presentation after. We talked after. I think that's on Toon's channel. I didn't record it because I was obviously doing the presentation. And then here's us riding the fat bikes. Let's go a little bit further here. So anyway, I'm just showing you that this is Antarctica. Okay. And the sun did not set for the 4 days I was there. It doesn't set for 4 months. It doesn't set from basically November through February. Okay. There's 70 employees down there. Talking to those employees, they thought it was silly what we believed. Okay. And then we get back and we're ready to go, and we get back on the plane and we head home. Okay. That was it. So, but what did we prove in that trip? Well, we proved that there was a south celestial pole by looking at it from Punta Arenas. And we did have clouds about 2 of those 3 days before we left. And we did have a day where we were able to see quite clearly. And then, so if there's a south celestial pole, you have to ask yourself, what's below it? What's below the south celestial pole? Now, flat earthers will just say, oh, we don't know. How do you know? Because we know what's below the north celestial pole, right? The North Pole. So what do you think's below the south celestial pole? Well, the problem is with a flat earth map, you can't have a south pole. Can't have a south pole. So because the flat earth map says that the south pole is everywhere, which isn't the case. In fact, you can have people all walk towards the lowest part of the sun and they'll all meet at the same place, which is the south pole. Just like if somebody in somebody in Australia, wrong again, somebody in Alaska, somebody in California, somebody in Russia, if we all walk towards Polaris, we would all run into each other at the North Pole. The same thing is true in the south. That's all you need to know. The Earth is a symmetrical globe, okay? And that's known because, again, why are we seeing the sun to our south? And then people all say, oh, but they've flipped the directions on you. That doesn't, what part of 24-hour sun do you not understand? Doesn't matter if the directions are whatever you want to make them. You decide what the directions are in Antarctica for me, okay? You choose which way is north and south and which way is east and west, and then the sun goes around our head, which means that the sun was the opposite direction that I flew from. So we flew from Punta Arenas into Union Glacier, and the sun was in that opposite direction, so south of there, and it was above the heads of people in Australia. Okay, that doesn't work on any flat map, and it never will. In fact, why is the sun doing anything below the southern tropic? Think about it. The sun should be above the Tropic of Capricorn at all times. On a flat Earth map, that calls for it never to be outside of that tropic. Yet, there it went, setting right to left. There it went, south of us in Antarctica. So is there a model that says this is what the world will show you, this is what you'll see? And it's the globe model. So I call you garbage pail kids because I do not think that you're out for truth. When I watch these debates, it's all about who got cooked and let's clip this and let's clip that. And it's just a team mentality. Nobody cares if their own team tells a bunch of lies. That's garbage. That's garbage. None of that stuff would fly back when I was a flat earther. If you think somebody like Caleb could exist on YouTube where they would just get on there and moderate their own debates, look what happened to Nathan Oakley. People stopped showing up. There's nobody that watches the show anymore. Okay, so it's just a different world where you guys are like behind and you're using all the debunked arguments, not understanding anything about what anybody's trying to portray. And it's all about, oh, let me go on Blitz's channel and try to get one little gotcha, one little win so I can run around and tell people, look at my win, I got to win. That's not for truth. You're not for truth. So don't call yourself truthers. Okay, you are, I guess, flat earth dogmatists. Okay, because you're not looking for evidence either. You're not looking for the truth. You might think in your head you're looking for the truth. You're not. You're just not. So I'm going to let you guys come up tonight, and you'll have 10 minutes if you want. Let me give you a couple warnings because I guess people didn't get it last time. So let me just explain how I operate. I'm here to treat you as a human being, talk to you about your ideas, your theories, your maybe your confusion, okay? But if you think you're going to come on my show and tell me to shut up, try it. Try it. If you think you're going to come on my show and tell me that I faked a trip, that I just showed you evidence that we did not, try it. And when you get dumped, you can go cry all you want. But that's because I'm here for the truth, not for you to cry and say to shut up on my show and that bunch of garbage. Let's just talk like adults. That's how you get off of the garbage pail kid brigade, is you talk like adults. It's not all about, oh, cooked and, oh, clip this and clip that. It's just not truth-seeking, in my opinion. So, again, and maybe that's what you want. Maybe you just want to be a contrarian. Go right ahead. You got 11 people muted. Nice. All right, so let's get on with the show. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that could get ugly here. What is this? Oh, I don't need that open. Could get ugly with the unfortunate sound issues we have, but it might work and it might not. Let's try it and see if anybody wants to come up. We do have the clock on the screen. Oh, why is that still there? Oh, I got to change it. That's why. Okay, so now we got this, and let's go with this. All right, I'm going to put the clock up. Let's see if this will come on. Oops, not that. I have a question. Since you were a flirt for 10 years, you have a good perspective of. Go ahead. You should have asked it all in the same thing. Hold on, I have to fix this. Apply and turn it on. Show. Okay. Now you guys can see that clock. Yeah, let me put it up above my head over there. Good. We got 10 minutes if you last that long. If you don't, camera source obstructed. Adjust. No, it's not. Knock it off. Okay. So that looks good there. And I'm going to turn on multi-guest. We already got one here. Let's see if this goes well. I seriously doubt it. Let's see what happens. And whoever's up first, Paradise, nice name. Can you just give me a second? I just want to double check and make sure everybody hears us. Don't go crazy yet. Just give me a few seconds on your first convo here. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jaron.
Hey, how are you? Hold on one second. I just want to make sure. Does everybody on TikTok hear the guest? And same thing with YouTube. Go ahead and say something or tell us who you are or something.
Hey, Jaron. I'm Paradise.
Okay. Let me see if everybody hears you. 1 second. I got to go back and forth. Let's look at TikTok. Okay, everybody hears. Sound is fine. Great. So TikTok's good. Now, my guess is that means that YouTube is not. That's just a guess. Let's see. YouTube, loud and clear on both YouTube and TikTok. Both of us. Okay, good. We're good. I heard him. Great. I guess we're ready to go. All right, your 10 minutes has started. You are free to talk about whatever you want. Shoot.
Hey, Jaron. Good to see you. I've talked to you many years. I happen to be a concave earther.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I'm just wondering if you've ever explored the concave earth model.
I did as a flat earther and thought that it was silly because at the time as a flat earther, I thought that the curvature of the Earth was silly. So I thought that the inverted curvature was just as silly. So no, I didn't look at it. And then once I saw that the Earth is a globe and a sphere, and it acts like I would expect it to act if it were a sphere, then no, I stopped looking. I haven't looked at it because like things that I've seen, like the rocket launch there from Vandenberg from my house 188 miles away, and it gets up in the sky, and I don't see it until it's 34,000 feet high. That's when it shows up on my horizon. So none of that really jives with me with any kind of a concave Earth. What do you think is the best evidence of that? If you had to give me,
Well,
your top reason why you think that's correct.
I'd say that the top, if you're looking for like a experiment that took place in the past, it's the Tamarack Plumb Bob Mineshaft experiment,
Okay.
1901.
Yeah, I've heard of it. That's the one where they dangled and they kind of diverged, right?
Diverged, yeah. And the same thing they did in another experiment in France and had the same results. And that would be the hard experiment. But there's scientific papers written on this. Mustafa Abdelkader mapping the geocosmos. And without NASA or whatever, like it's impossible to know if it was, inside out. Like it's almost unfalsifiable. And I think if you looked into the concave Earth model,
So you
as a
think
whole,
if you're looking out in the distance at the ocean and we see the horizon line, you think that from there it curves upwards?
it curves upwards. Yeah, I have some amazing footage taken by, I don't know if you remember Josh Poliero, Zenith Atlas.
No,
He
not
used to be
really.
a flat earther, him and Ernie. And yeah, and it basically just looks like a concave meniscus that water is carrying. And so, and I think it's the glass in the glass what's tricking your eyes. And it's 100 kilometers. There's glass in the Libyan desert glass actually in the sky.
Who put
That's
that there? It's natural or it's like a
Cosmos, it's actually, yeah, it's naturally there, man. It lines up with scripture, even though, like, I'm not a Bible basher, but it just seems to. And yeah, it just everything works in the concave Earth. I think it's a beautifully working model. Man, I can remember when your channel first came out, you and Bob, like, I've been around like the YouTube, from way back, and now I'm on TikTok. But really, yeah, good to talk to you, dude.
you
And
too.
I
Thanks
have
for
to give you
remembering those
props,
days,
man.
the good old days.
I really have to give you props, man, for like, holding the line. So yeah, thanks for that, dude.
Well, thank you. There's not much option. I get a bunch of people who say, "Oh man, you've changed so much," and it's like what they're basically telling me is that they want me to lie to them, which I can't do.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I just am telling you what I now know to be the case, and you don't have to listen to me by any means. Can believe whatever you want.
I'm so surprised, man, that so many, like, oh man, like so many people just didn't even listen to anything you said, like, and they just carried on right on. It's like,
Yeah, I get it. I
okay,
mean, and I did the same thing, right? I mean, when people came to me with these globe facts and globe evidence, that your brain just does an awfully good job of blocking that information, so that you don't have to change your belief if you're happy in it. Your brain thinks you're happy. You're happy. You've got friends now that are flat earthers. You told your family off. You told your friends off, and now you've got a new family, and so your brain just is protecting that new found camaraderie and doesn't want to even think about having to go back and learn cosmology again or figure out how a globe works or why is water level and why are people confused about that and how fast the Earth spins, that kind of thing. It's just kind of something your brain doesn't want to do.
and it
So
seems like the modern new flat earther these days is like doesn't even have the arguments that the old flat earthers had. They like everything's a proof, and it's like it's just, man, it's just so muddied.
yeah, it's certainly different than I even ever saw or thought. And now that I had Caleb on the show, I think it was last week, that he was saying basically, well, we don't know what the sun is, and we don't know where the sun goes, and it could be this and it could be that, and we don't know what the sky does. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, if that's your arguments, then yeah, you'll always be a flat earther. You could always just sit around and say, well, we don't know what the sun does. Well, we saw it do this, yeah, but we don't know. It could be doing this. Sure, could be doing that. Whatever you want to say. Whatever you
If
want
you
to
just
say.
go by the sun's path, it's pretty simple to figure out that it's not doing circles in the sky like that. So
Yeah, no, it's not. That's simple enough, and people still don't want to get it. I tried to explain it the other day with a racetrack example. I think it helped a little people because what people do is they latch onto these, what do you want to call them, explanations, answers, descriptions, or whatever. So whenever I try and bring up the fact that the sun sets diagonally different in the north than it does the south, and that's what the globe calls for, and the flat earth has no reason to do that, they all want to say, oh, it's perspective. It's because you can turn this way and look north, and then you turn this way and it's left to right, but if you turn the other way, it's right to left. And I had to explain to them, like in a racetrack, if you kind of picture a circular racetrack with a car going around it clockwise, and say at the 9 o'clock position, there's bleachers facing inside the track and bleachers facing from the inside out, basically all over the circle. And those people are facing each other. And if that car went by and we asked them, hey, which way did the car go? They would both have different answers. One would say left to right. One would say right to left. So I get that. That is a perspective issue. But if we told both of those observers to turn and assume the position of the car, so basically the person on the outside of the track would turn to their left, the person on the inside of the track would turn to their right, and now they're both facing the same direction as the car is driving, they would both see the car driving off, turning left to right. That's the true motion of the car. The problem is on the earth is the people in the south, every one of them, 1 billion people every day, they see them go to the left. So the people on the south see the car go left, and the people in the north see the car go to the right. There's no explanation for that, and there never will be. And that's something I could even make a bet to somebody. You'll never be able to explain that on any flat map ever, because it's a conundrum, or what do you want to call it? It's a paradox. The only explanation for it is by placing the people on a sphere, which causes their orientation to change, which then means that they're going to both see the sun go in a different direction, but it's the same sun. So anyway, it's kind of...
I know I'm taking up too much. Can I ask you one more question?
Anything.
How many subscribers did you lose?
I think I was at 165 or something, so it's probably down to 160.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody
stuff.
watches anymore. So, I mean, subscribers is not really, subscribers isn't a good metric to look at, because really it comes down to views, and my views are trash. So
Okay.
I lost basically everything. So what are you going to do?
Well, good job, man. I mean, good fucking job, dude. That's all I got to say. So props to you, man.
Thank you much.
And I wish you'd come explore the concave model a little more.
I will. Is Pastor Ernest still running that show? And,
Yeah.
Okay.
Ernie's around. Yeah, he's around, definitely. So.
And he has a whole bunch of like videos and models of it and things like that, right? I mean, the only thing I like about it, the only thing that's attractive to me about the concave Earth is the closeness of the things in the sky.
Yeah.
That's the only
We
thing
got
that's
some
really
beautiful
attractive.
celestial movements are beautiful. We have real retrograde in our
Well, I'm
motion of our
assuming that it
planet.
would be pretty close. I mean, it's just an inverted globe, so it's
Yeah,
going to
exactly.
match most things. I mean, other than the fact of
Yeah.
maybe-
It's Occam's razor, I believe, Jaron. I believe it's Occam's razor. Right? And it's like with the celestial mechanics, it's going to be either one way or the other. There's no middle in it. You know what I mean? It's got to, for that to match, and that's what the globe has, is that tightly timed celestial mechanics, and
right.
the must.
Well, I do appreciate you calling and
I
jumping
appreciate
on.
you, Aaron.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me up, buddy.
Hey, anytime. Take it easy. All right, let's get on with somebody else. 1 second. I just want to show you this because I don't want to mention it and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Let me move this over here and see if you guys can see that. Who's pulling up at my house? Get out of here. Let's go to TikTok. You can see that. All right. And we're going to put this one up there. All right. So let's see if this works real quick. Yeah, that'll work enough. Get it up. Oops. That'll work. All right. So you see now that I need a little bit up. Let's go like this. Can you get up there and see it? All right. So just real quick, just so I can show you, imagine what I'm talking about is that if this is a circular racetrack, we went to watch this race, cars go around it, and let's say there's bleachers here and there's bleachers here. Okay, so people are watching the race from the bleachers, and you can picture the bleachers would be everywhere. So it's not, we don't have to be at 9 o'clock because the circle is a circle and it's the same everywhere. So if we had two people, one person sitting here and one person sitting here, this is where you are correct, that if this car came by going this way, and you ask these people, hey, which way did that car go? These people are going to say it went right to left, and these people are going to say it went left to right, right? So yeah, perspective is going to change that. However, if we wanted to know what the true motion of the car is, what would we require? It requires these people turning to their left, so now they're facing this way, and these people turning to their right, so now they're facing this way. When you do that, you have now assumed the same position of the car, the same orientation, and therefore you now watch the true motion. So now, as this car goes off and heads this way, what are everybody going to see? Get that a little bigger. Let's go this way. All right, there we go. So what is these people going to see? If we ask them, which direction did the car go? They would say left to right. Correct. And if we ask these people, which way did the car go? Well, it went left to right. Exactly. Okay, that's the true motion of the car. However, that's not what happens on Earth. On Earth, everybody that's south of that track, thank you very much. 3 Weiss Bitcoin, I appreciate that. Thanks, JSauce. As this car goes this way, here's what happens. These people in the inside, they all see the car go left to right as it's supposed to. Everybody in the south sees the car go this way. Sorry, we got a problem. If you can't realize that, if you're not a flat earther right now that's thinking to yourself, okay, that is a problem. If you're able to just dismiss this, then you don't care about the truth. You're not looking for the truth. You're not looking for evidence. You're not looking for facts. You're not looking to change your opinion. You think you already know the truth. And so whatever I'm saying is, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We don't know what the sun does. We don't know. Yes, we do. We know exactly what the sun is. And here's the crazy thing. Remember that I just said that these bleachers could be anywhere. So what that essentially tells you is everybody on the inside sees the same thing. They all see the car go that way, left to right for every single observer on the inside of the Earth, which would be the north. And then everybody in the south sees this. So I could draw it everywhere. Out, 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 right? So it's always going in the opposite direction. So it just doesn't work anymore. And that's fact. And so is there a model that says that that's what you should expect to see? Yes, the globe says that's exactly what you'll see. So don't save. All right, let's bring this back up and we'll bring on the next person. I'll try not to get on too many tangents. And we got to turn this off and put that there. All right, now we're good. All right, let's go back to TikTok and see what we got over here. We've got a couple people waiting. Man, TikTok is the thing is so slow. You got to click on it and wait 10 minutes. Thank you. All right, I will call you Bob. Bob, welcome. ¿Cómo estás, Bob?
Hi, Jaron. It's good to talk to you. I just have a very quick, funny story for you.
Sure.
I was just scrolling lives, and I happened upon, a typical flat earther live. You know them. These are probably these are all people you know.
Some, yes.
And they were talking about having talked with you, and they said that they had interrogated you on why and how you had not seen the Southern Cross while you were in Antarctica.
Right.
And the whole panel was in an uproar and could not figure it out. And I'm like, you guys, the sun was up all the time. You can't see the Southern Cross when the sun is up. That's why he didn't see the Southern Cross.
Well, I did see it.
And I just sat there going like, do you guys not know anything about how the globe is supposed to work? I mean,
it was all a setup, really. That was all a plan by them. The whole time was to get me to say something that they could then claim that I left the stream. And then I even have a screenshot showing that they actually booted me. It says removed by moderator. And they just told everybody on the show, they're like, oh, he left, he rage quit.
He ran.
He ran, of course.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that this was actually I don't even think this was the stream you were in. I think this was some other live,
Maybe.
3 or 5 days later. I don't even know.
This is why these guys are not into truth, right? Because if what I said was to them is the guy was asking me to point out the Southern Cross in the sky. I was like, I don't know where the Southern Cross is. What do you mean? And I said, I've never been in the South. And that is still the truth. I've never been in the South enough that I could learn what the Southern Cross looks like. You don't just go down there one night, look up the sky and say, oh, there's the Southern Cross.
Right.
Now I know how it all works. And
Right.
no,
Well, and the
sorry,
other thing
I don't
is,
live there.
it was not dark when you were there.
Not in Antarctica,
You
no.
cannot make out stars when the sun is out.
No. The only place I saw it was from Punta Arenas. That was the Punta Arenas. That was the only place that we saw it.
Precisely.
And we only saw it one night. It was cloudy both the first night we got there and the second night. So,
Right.
But then we did see it. But then, I still stand behind what I said. I was saying I've never been to the South. And they're like, oh, he hasn't been to the South. Well, I've been there for Antarctica, dipshits. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm saying I've never been down there before. So
yeah,
they
they want to take a little slip up in what you said.
Right. So it's
to be a gotcha moment.
Rather than all the footage that we've done, all the footage I just showed you, all the chest cam footage, that means nothing to them. But me saying I haven't been to the South and they're think they have some sort of win. So this is why I call them garbage pail kids, because they are just, they're not for the truth at all. It's not what their goal is here. So
yeah, but globies don't always have good goals either.
No, I'm not saying that either. And that's another thing people should see about me is that I'm not a team kind of person that's going to be like, oh, I'm now a team globe. I don't even like being called a glober. I think that's ridiculous. I think I'm just a normal person who's no longer a flat earther.
Exactly.
So,
but it's been very interesting to see the change and to see how you were treated. and various different things. I'm glad you got to go to Antarctica.
Me too.
That
Yeah,
sounds honestly, that sounds like a really cool trip. I'd go.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's circumnavigated the globe twice the east-west route and twice circumpolar, and he does it by land and sea. So he drives across the land. He's driven across Antarctica twice in specially designed Humvees, and then he's sailed, and then drives, and then sails, and then drives, and that's how he circumnavigates. He did it all on a freaking like a National Geographic special. It's called Nick Baggerly Drive Around the World. And you're welcome to check it out. Anyway, I'm glad you had a good trip. And
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for coming up. Very kind of you. All right, let's get somebody else here. I did want to say that somebody in the chat looking like a jackass says, but Jaron, you knew the earth wasn't flat, but you kept taking the cash, which is fine. Ha 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 ha. No, I think you missed the point here. Do you understand that I thought that the South was a lie? So how did I know the earth wasn't flat? I thought that the South was a lie. If the South is a lie, then the playing field's open. If the sun doesn't do a 360 in Antarctica, guess what? The earth cannot be a globe. So that was my position, and it remained my position up until I saw it. Now, I get it that everybody else is like, oh, but we didn't get to see it, so how are we supposed to just believe you? Well, we brought back footage. There's enough footage now. Think of what the difference between where I was 5 years ago when there was one video. We didn't get to see anybody fly into Antarctica. We didn't get to see them land on the ice. We didn't get to see them go to the camp. We didn't get to go see them where they set up. We didn't get to see any of that. We saw one video that was looped. That's it. So do you not see the difference between before TFE and after TFE? There is no more excuse. Not only did Globers go down there, but Flat Earthers went down there. So for MIL 9999999, real smart. It makes a lot of sense, too, that I knew it was flat, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to change from this trip, and then everybody will love me, and all the Flat Earthers will keep getting. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Okay, so make sense. Try to make sense at least. Let's go with Fire Demons. Sorry, I didn't see that. I thought it was Fire Dem. What's up, Fire Demon?
Hi.
Right.
Yeah, it's Fire Demon.
Oh, Fire Demon.
So I have a question, and I tried asking on YouTube, but kind of got mixed in the thing because character limit.
Because what?
So because the character limit on YouTube kind of
got you.
forces it. My question is, in the flat Earth environment, they typically scream about there being a dome, and my question is, what is the dome made of? Because from my perspective, it can't be water because water seeks its own level, and ice is just frozen water, so it can't be ice either, which kind of leaves that ambiguous, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't believe in a dome, so I was kind of an outcast as far as that goes, but the people who do say it's glass, at least what I've heard, or what do they call it? Some type of, I can't remember the name of the desert, some sort of desert glass. Maybe it's just called desert glass. I don't know. They said they found pieces of it on the ground before and it came from the sky, and so they think that's the dome. But again, I mean, we can't build a dome over a city. So Is there a dome built over the entire Earth? I mean, that would be insane. And so, I've asked people before, like, who built it? And they're like, well, God did. I'm like, well, God didn't build anything on the Earth. And they're like, oh, he built everything. He built everything that you see. I'm like, okay, you mean the natural things? Okay, I'll give you that. But now you're saying that there's a glass dome that's natural? That doesn't even, you've lost me. So I don't see God down with hammers and building a glass dome. I don't see him sending little angels to build a glass dome. It's just not how I look at the Earth. So I don't think that they even think about that. How would you keep that structure up? And then they actually say that, SpaceX launches rockets and tries to hit the dome or does hit the dome, or that the Go Fast rocket hit the dome, or that during the Operation Fishbowl that they tried to shoot nukes into the sky and break the dome, which just makes no sense. If they were doing that, then they know that, let's say that the flat Earth is true, then they would know that there's water separating the waters or whatever. And so they would then be killing all of humanity, but they certainly weren't doing that. They certainly weren't trying to kill everybody, because if they would have broke the dome and then the water rushed in and flooded everybody, what would be the point of that? So clearly they were just launching
They would be
nuclear weapons
flooded
in the
too.
atmosphere. Right. So it's just, they were launching to see what happened when they launched nukes. Now, was it a smart move? No, it's idiotic. But we know that they've done many such idiotic things. I think that they're doing a lot now. So
Exactly, and I completely agree with you.
yeah, so
But
I can't really give you an answer of what it's made of. I know that Irlanducci used to have kind of the same idea that I had, that as you went up, it got colder and colder and colder, and then at some point there was like basically super cold gas that could act as a dome. But that was basically it. And I don't even now I say things that I used to say as a flat earther, and I'm like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? I don't even, it doesn't even make sense. It's like, oh, the gas,
Yeah.
the gas dome, But yeah, I mean, there's no dome. They have to believe in the dome because of the pressurized. They think that it's a pressurized system.
Exactly, and
Even though that doesn't work
that's kind
either.
of like where you sit there and like, what is it made of, and how can it be there?
Right.
Why do we not run out of oxygen? Because in a like when you're in a garage running the car, you're going to die from carbon monoxide.
Right.
Why are we not doing that?
Right. Yeah, it just doesn't make much sense. Whereas I used to always say, because the problem I had with gravity is I used to say, oh, and Dave Weiss still uses this example, even though I've already told him why it doesn't work anymore. But I used to say, if we put a box of air inside of a vacuum chamber and then open the box of air, let's say electronically, that the gas would immediately fill the vacuum. And therefore, it can't be that gravity's holding the atmosphere down. But then that's on a small scale. Well, that's not how gravity works. Gravity works based on, two masses. So you're going to be talking about a lot heavier of a air, and it's all weighing down. And so it's not like it's next to the vacuum. Like let's say the ground is right next to the vacuum or something. No, it's going to dissipate up, and up until it gets to be very thin, and then you get to the outer space. So it's just, it does make sense now. It didn't then. So I do think that that's what's, that is the container, if you want to call it that. Gravity is holding the tiny bit of atmosphere. Another thing that I didn't know if people realize, they all draw this big, tall dome on the Earth. But that's like, so what are they thinking? That the dome is like some 15,000 miles high? Like, how tall is the dome? Because if you think about it, we know that the air gets thin, right? Let's say the Kármán line is what, 67 miles, or is it 100 miles? I always forget which one it is. 100 kilometers? I don't know. Well, let's just go 100 miles. Okay. So if you took a flat Earth map and you looked at what the distance of 100 miles is, okay. Let me grab a flat Earth map here. Okay. So, people can't see that. 1 second. Just bring this over. This one. All right. So if you took a flat Earth map like this and you said, all right, what's 100 miles? Well, 100 miles is, you can't even draw it on this map. It's too small. It's like that. Right. So it's little tiny space. That's even way bigger. But let's say that's 100 miles. So now you have to remember that the dome is only that high. That's where the air runs out. So really, the flat Earth looks like a dime. That it doesn't have a dome. It would have a dime. So you'd be living on a dime, and that's it. So you know what I'm saying? Like a flat Earth would look like this, and we go with the. Can I go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically flat. Flat dime with no top. Just be very, very thin. So the idea that there's some gigantic dome that goes like, because figure, what is this distance? So say this is about 9,000 miles. Is that correct? Yes. And so this is another 9,000. So you're talking about 18,000. So if you're drawing a dome like this on the Earth, like this, that's at least 20,000 miles high. So it's just unrealistic. What the Earth would look like is like this, flat, and then it would have a little tiny roof on it like this. That's
Right.
It would be a dime. So I mean, it's ridiculous. It's sad that I ever bought into it, to be honest.
And also, heavens forbid, the models where people are trying to say that the known land of the Earth is surrounded by the ice wall, and then beyond the ice wall is like an infinity plane of other land.
Right. And then you have to. What happens with the dome though? Does the dome not touch the ground then? Because the dome,
Exactly.
and then they have a problem with the spinning Earth and how fast it's spinning. But then they have to remember that their dome would have to be spinning at about 3,000 miles per hour at the outskirts. to get all the way around the Earth in 24 hours. So it just becomes kind of insane, kind of ridiculous. There is no extra lands. There is, is there an island somewhere that nobody knows about or something? Yeah, sure, could be that. But
Sure.
But if you're talking about land beyond Antarctica, no. Fly from Punta Arenas across Antarctica, you're going to come up over by Australia. It's just the way it goes. So, anything else you want to talk about?
No, that was pretty much it. Thank you for having me, and I've been following your journey through like all the debunker channels, and when you came back said that, hey, Earth is a globe, I'm like, you know what? I have massive respect, and I subscribed right then and there, and just kind of
Well, thank you.
Just now the algorithm has been picking up.
Well, thank you. I do
your
appreciate
videos on my side. So
yeah, a little bit better. I think the live stream's not so much, but when I make a video, which I'm going to do more of, those seem to get some views. So, but I appreciate the call, and I appreciate you following along.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, take it easy. All right, let's see
You
if
too, bye.
any flat earthers are going to come up. So far, not really. Let's disconnect him. I'm just going to check this. I missed a couple super chats, I think, over here. Make sure if I did. Super chat, fan funding. So we did have 414 Comedies for $2. Says Flurf TV asks if Shit Fingers washed his hands yet. Okay. J Sauce 3 Weiss Bitcoin. Earthrise Apollo 8 1968. Welcome to Globe Earth. Thank you, Jim Daniels. And yes, I mean, I don't want to tell these people that are globers, I mean, that are flat earthers, that my feeling on the moon landing, because they will lose their minds. So unfortunately, they don't even realize that it's kind of them that led me there, because I saw the kind of responses that we got from TFE, and they were identical to the things people say about the moon landing. They've already reached the conclusion that the moon landing was fake. So, so it's just, of course it's fake. We know it's fake. Well, okay, well, where's the evidence of that? Wait, we don't need evidence. We know it's fake. Well, you kind of do. It's kind of the point. You do need evidence. NASA came back with lots of evidence, 16,000 photos, audio transcripts, a whole bunch of shit. And they sent 3 different people every time. If you were going to fake something, wouldn't you send the same 3 astronauts so that you just keep the lies contained? Not, let's get 3 new liars and 3 new liars and 3 new liars and 3 new liars. Just seems a little bit insane. And Earthrise Apollo 8, 1968. I wanted to show you these just so you can know. These are coming. We've been having fun, Wattcast and myself, drawing the, what are they called? The Garbage Pail Kids. And I lost my, that's weird. 1 second. I don't know where something is. Where did it go? Don't save that. Okay. Do I not have? Sorry, File Explorer is not on my... Okay, there we go. So let me just show you these, and we'll bring them over. Can you see? Oh, you can't see that yet. Okay, 1 second. We're going to bring this over. Make sure you can see the map again. All right. So these are just some cards you can get. You collect the whole set if you want, the inserts and everything. No, they're not available. They're just beautiful AI creations. And let's go with this one. So the first one we got is... let's go date modified and date modified. I thought I put them. Oh, let's go. It's Telegram desktop. There we go. All right. So the first one we got is this one. A nice. Well, let me bring over here. There we go. We got the Angels of Shai card. Make sure you get that one. It's very special. Great card. I like that one. It's excellent. We also have. Oh, this is one of the best ones here. We've got the. You can get your own recess band Weepy. You see there. He's trying to hand that through the fence. He shouldn't be there at the school there. With himself under the dome as the flat earth model. Also, recess was always his favorite time of day. He may or may not cry on the first date. He will. And double check all long distance observations because he forgets observer height. He tells everybody, I see too far and I saw Atlanta from over here. And he was 4,000 feet high and doesn't tell anybody that. Imagine that. Then you got this piece of work. One of my least favorite TikTokers ever in the history of TikTok. She is OK Rongi. OK Rongi. Talk about a confused individual. And guys, I read on this book and the Bible and God and the flat earth and God and the Bible and the Bible and demons and God and okay, Rongi. Okay, Rongi. She's another one. We also have Fek Alib self-modded. Oh, wait, I think it's just a misspell. It's supposed to be F-E Caleb, but somebody spelled it Fek Alib self-modded because he moderates his own debates, which is not impressive. Not impressive. And we've got Leaky App Dave Lice. You can get this card if you like. It's a good one. Very good. Lying to kids, by the way, if you haven't seen him recently, he's now in front of high school students telling that the earth is flat, and he's wrong. Okay. And also we have the Griftus Flat Derper. I don't know if you've ever seen him before. He is definitely just doing this for money. He's definitely a grifter. Definitely Trump is not Elvis. It's one of the dumber things I've ever heard. Basically everything he's ever said is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I've seen posts from people who know him personally who say he's not a flat earther at all. He's doing it for money. He got fired as a school teacher. And this is what he does for money now. So just know that. This is who you're dealing with. These are not special people, even though I heard Angels of Shite say that recently. He said, "Oh, I'm special. I always knew I was born to be special." Special indeed. You keep getting debunked. You keep getting told how things work, and yet you just go back to the same talking points. The plane has to nose down, and it's just garbage. It's garbage. All right, let's see who's next. I don't know who else is up here, but we'll find out if there's any flat earthers going to come on or not. Hey, we got one, or one guest. I don't know if they're flat earther yet. We've got Old MacDonald had a farm. No, is that it? Old MacDonald had a farm. Yep, E-I-E-I-O.
Oh, thank you so much, host. How are you today?
Good, yourself?
Hanging in there.
Good. What can we do for you?
So I actually have something because you said something about a dime earlier.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty interesting. So I went ahead and used one. I'm gonna go ahead and show my video here.
Oh wait, let me see how I do this. Hold on. What do I have to press? Turn off camera. Wait. Oh, you already turned it on?
So what I?
Oh shoot! How do I make this?
Sir?
One second. Let me just make it big. Expand.
I'm not sure. Oh, really? Anybody can do this.
Okay.
So what I did here is I put water on the dime.
Okay.
Okay. Would you consider that to be a high pressure system compared to the air around it? If you were to shrink down to, let's say, the size of a bacteria?
Sure.
Okay. So we have containment by what exactly?
On the dime?
Yes. Well, how is there containment between one medium and another?
In this particular instance?
Yes.
Gravity.
No. In this particular instance, it's the pressure from the air above pushing on the water.
Okay, yes, that's
correct.
Which is gravity, but okay, yes.
Well, you say it's gravity. That's fine. It's just we could say weight, right?
Okay, weight. I like that.
No one is
Gravitas.
weight.
I like it.
Now the weight of the air is pushing down. The gas particles are actually bouncing off of the surface of the water,
right?
Creating essentially that bubble, which is also having adhesive properties to itself.
Okay.
So the point is that you said 100 miles up, and if we made this to scale, having something like this, a low pressure system of gases pushing down on a high pressure system like we see here on Earth, why would it not be similar to something like this?
Well, I was talking about the fact that the dome is not at all what they depict. The drawing that everybody thinks the Earth is, and they
right.
That's all I was talking about. So
it
you're
is
saying
dome-like, though.
How is it dome-like?
Because it has a
but air everywhere.
A dome-like structure to this.
You mean because it's like the meniscus you're talking about?
It's a dome-like structure.
You're talking about the meniscus?
It's a high pressure system. Next, yeah. See how it's above. Can you see that?
Yeah,
probably not.
It's a little sideways. We can see it. So what's that's sitting on something though? What's the flat Earth sitting on?
Well, whatever the solid is underneath us, we have foundations on the Earth. It's not moved. I mean, apart from earthquakes, but that's probably because the Earth was cursed. So.
Okay, and where's the South Pole on that model there?
Well, the South Pole would be everywhere on the outside.
Right. So what sense does that make? Can something be everywhere?
Well, yeah, sure. You can have Antarctica that goes around the outside. I mean, even you considered that, Jaron.
Yeah, it used to, but now it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work anymore. Because
Well,
if
the stars,
the south is
the,
what
the
we're taught.
stars.
So again,
Yeah, for sure.
you
It's
can
away from the center.
okay, but you can fly from South America, from Australia and South Africa in 6 hours to get to the South Pole from each place.
Yeah, brother. I don't know. I don't know how that's done. Maybe it has to do with the jet streams. Maybe they follow them, and the time is a little bit quicker. I
Let
don't know,
me
sir.
make it a little bit more easy to understand. So in the north, if you are in Alaska and somebody's in the United States and somebody's in Russia, if they all looked at the South Pole, I mean, if they all looked at the North Pole star and walked towards it, they would end up at the North Pole, right? The same thing is true in the South. The South converges. It comes back down to the South Pole. And we know that because you can measure degrees of longitude. 1 degree of longitude at 53 degrees south is 40 miles, but according to the flat Earth, it'd be 160 miles. And when you get down to Antarctica, it gets ridiculous. I think one degree of longitude at 80 degrees south is like 13 miles, and on the flat Earth, it's 260. So it becomes impossible to hold on to the flat Earth anymore. The sun going around it in one direction is impossible because we know that the Tropic of Capricorn, the sun has to stay above it for the entirety of December 21st. How would it do that? By setting to the left, it goes around the people in Antarctica. So it doesn't go, the Tropic of Capricorn, that means, does not turn to the right if you're looking west, it turns to the left. So what model says that the Tropic of Capricorn turns to the left if you're looking west and the south? It's the globe.
Sure. I have one. If you went on my page, you'd see that I actually created a counterclockwise and clockwise rotation when it comes to the stars in one system. It's a lensing effect.
What about the sun?
The sun is a excuse me. I'm sorry. The sun is a little bit different because it goes on its own frequency and it's in its own system, because the time it takes for the stars to go around in 24 hours is, I think, less than the time that it takes for the sun and the moon to go around. I think it goes 20, 22, 23, 24, 56.
Right.
So
the side
23,
real time.
56. I'm sorry?
Side real time you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you explain then if you're talking about that dime? I don't know if you still have the picture up. I got to go back there. I know people.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
People on YouTube can't see it. That's the thing. But if people on TikTok can. So if you're talking about this dime, and you have somebody standing in Antarctica, which would be on the outskirts, how would the sun go around them? Do a 360 for 4 months.
The sun would go this way.
Right. Okay. So now picture somebody who's on the outside of that dime. Can you put a little piece of paper on the outside of the dime? I see a little white thing over there north of your dime. What is that on the ground? Looks like a little pinch of lint or something up there.
Oh.
Can you move that right next to the edge of the dime? So pretend that is a person standing in Antarctica. Okay, right there. That's good. Now the sun goes around them right to left for 4 months.
Goes like this.
Okay. So now put somebody on the outside of the dime, and now the sun goes around them the other direction.
Right. Okay. Well, I can't shrink myself down to show you how it would be viewed, because light works differently in the system that you're in, as opposed to seeing it from the outside in.
Okay. And you have these answers on your channel, you said?
Yeah, well, just the star rotation.
Okay.
I'm getting into how the sun and the moon would work. Also, it has to do with their shape.
Okay. If you can explain how the sun goes backwards in the south and to the, left to right in the north, then I'll give you $500. So remember that. It's on record. Come find me and show me it. And if it works, then I'll pay you.
Okay, thanks, man. And this isn't about the money. I mean, I would do it for free.
I'm just doing it so that you don't forget about it and go wander off and do other things. If you're really working on it, work on it and see what you can come up with.
That sounds great, man.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Couldn't connect. Try.
All right. Thanks for having me up, Jaron.
Later.
Appreciate it.
No problem. I don't know why my stream just said it went down or something. I don't know what happened. All right, let's go with Tone Blair in the house. What's up, Tone? All right, I don't know if we're still live.
Well, you kind of do. That's kind of the point. You do need
Oh, Tone, switch that off. You're listening to YouTube, I think, maybe. There you go.
All right.
What's
Can you
up,
hear
buddy?
me?
Yep, very great. How are you?
Man, so I got a kind of half-baked question, so sorry if it's stupid as fuck.
I don't mind.
Man, so if you could take a trip down from north to south and you're like following the sun,
Mm-hmm.
would there be a time, I guess, when you pass the equator or where you get to the south, say like, you could take like a blimp or something forever, that you would see like the actual sun start going the opposite direction from right to left? Does that make sense or no?
Yes, it's because of the orientation. So I would say as soon as you cross the equator, but that's not realistic because really the sun sets straight up and down for if you're on the equator. So if you got a little bit away from it, say 5 or 10 degrees away from it, then you would start to see it set right to left. But if you're talking about the direction of the sun, I mean, this is where it gets a little bit crazy. Really, it's the sun. Really, it makes more sense when the sun sits still and we're spinning. That's what makes the most sense. If you still want to say that the sun's going around, that's fine. The sun goes around. It doesn't deviate its direction at all. It's you who is the observer, whose your orientation is different. So it's not a matter of going somewhere and seeing the sun go the opposite way. It's because of your orientation that you see the sun. It's the same sun that the North sees. So get this. This is what's crazy. If on that night that we were in Punta Arenas, so what was that? December 11th, I think is the first night we were there. December 11th, when we were watching the sunset, it set right to left, right? But somebody in the north who was watching the same exact sunset saw it go left to right. It's the same sun. And we tested that by looking at the sunspots and doing a 24-hour time lapse with a solar filter.
Okay, so I guess maybe that's my question is where is that break between
the equator,
the perception of it or so? Is it the equator?
Yep, exactly the equator. And even I think I even got one over on Tune. Maybe I got one on Tune because I talked to Tune and he's like, oh yeah, the only time that what you're saying is not true is when you're inside the tropics, close to the date of the solstice. And then I said, I don't think that's true. And I went and looked, and it's not. From what I can tell, it is always the case. And I'll bring this up and show you. Let me bring this up so you can see, because I think this is important. I think people should grasp this. I thought that was going to be a little easier to show. 1 second. Let me grab this and make it a little smaller. And get that within. That's not going to work at all. How about there? Come on. Hold on 1 second. I got to get this better. Okay, there.
Man, I don't know if it's my TikTok screen or you switched it, but I got a bunch of like request things on my screen, and your screen is hella small. Is that me or you?
I don't think it's me. Let me look at TikTok, see what they see. No, they see me.
Well, I'm talking about my screen, like because your screen is hella small and in the corner now. It's like I could barely see the shit.
Oh, I think you have to click.
I don't know if I hit something. I don't know how to use TikTok either.
Me neither, but I think you have to click it. Click my picture and then say expand, I think is what it says.
I don't know. I'm on my phone. Whatever.
Okay.
It's fine. I could see it sort of, kind of.
So this is probably the easiest way to rectify this is if we're in the north here. So let's just say anywhere here in California or whatever, and you're looking this way, and then we'll move down south, and you can watch it happen in real time. So here, let's get a little lower. Okay, so here we are, kind of in California somewhere or something, looking at the sun. Let's go to, and it doesn't matter the date because again, it does it every time. So let's go here. Okay, so you'll notice that the sun comes drastically left to right. Okay, that's its setting, left to right. And we all see that in the north every day. That's how the sun sets. So
it looks right to left to me.
Wait, hold on.
I'm fucking with you, bro.
You son of a bitch. I was rewinding it. So now if we just start moving, and it's going to kind of suck because, let me put the sun in the sky so you can see the sun actually up there. So if we move here, where'd it go? Up there. Okay, so we'll just leave the sun there for a second. Now, if I start moving to the south like this, you'll notice that the sky is spinning. Okay, it's because we're changing our orientation to the sky, and you'll notice it's actually flipping upside down. So as you get closer and closer, is this the tropic right here? Let's get to the tropic. So so here's the Tropic of Cancer, and if we're here, it's still going to be setting left to right. Watch it go, left to right, right? So you can still sit there. But if we get closer and closer, we're going to keep going. It just takes a while to kind of move faster. I don't know where we're at. Where are we at? 30, 17. Yeah, we'll get to the equator soon enough. So as we get to like 10 degrees, it's going to be harder to see. Let's see. That's 11. Here's 10. Okay, so at 10 degrees, it's still going to go left to right, but you'll notice the angle is getting less and less. Okay?
Deeper.
Yes, and as we get to the equator now, so now we're at 9 degrees, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if we get to the equator, now we're going to see that the sun is going to set pretty much up and down. It's going to be a little bit different because it's in what date are we on? January. So you see but you can see it's close, but it's you're on the equator, so it's really going to set straight up and down.
I see it, yeah.
Now, if we keep going, again, the sky keeps spinning. So what do you think is going to happen? This is because of the orientation that you're at. What are we at? There's 7 degrees, 8 degrees, 9 degrees. So here's us at 10, and now the sun will set right to left. Watch. See it moving right to left?
Oh, yeah.
And if we keep going, then it just keeps doing that. And then think about it. So eventually, are we going to get to a place? Remember, it's going to keep getting like this. It's going to keep getting more and more diagonal. And then eventually it gets to a place where it doesn't hide the Earth anymore. See what I'm saying? When the sun sets, it gets hidden by the Earth. But if you keep going to the left, if you keep going south, eventually that sun goes like this. And it doesn't hit the Earth anymore. It circles your head. So once I realized that and I saw all this and I was like, oh, shit. This is why you don't need NASA, you don't need physics, you don't need teachers, you don't need professors, you don't need anybody. You just need your eyes. God told us the shape of the Earth. And by the way, the moon does the exact same thing. The moon is the exact same. You'll notice now that
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
That was a good explanation. I'm glad you used that visuals there. In real life, could two people like record the same sun at the same time and see the same phenomena that we're seeing here?
Yep, they're already setting up to do it. Max and I forgot who, Icy Spin or somebody, they're setting up to do it pretty soon, where they're going to film it from the north and the south at the same exact time and show that it's two different directions. And I don't know if you know this, but
when's that happening?
I'd have to check with Max. He just told me the other night.
Like soon now, or
fairly soon. And then just so you know, what I'm doing is on June 21st, I'll be at 53 degrees north, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going with Josh Monday. We're going up there. We're going to film the sun rise, film the sun set, film it go north, measure the degrees of longitude at 53 degrees north. And then December 21st, we're going to Punta Arenas again. And we're going there to film, because I've already told them it's going to be the exact opposite. So we're going to be able to show that it's just the inverse. You take the video that we take in the north and we flip it upside down, it's going to be the exact thing that we see in the south. And that's because the Earth is symmetrical. 53 degrees north is exactly the opposite of 53 degrees south. And then we can do the measurement of the degrees of longitude and show that they're identical. So that's the end of flat Earth already, and it's already over. But when you show that the distance between degrees of longitude is the same at 53 degrees north and 53 degrees south, it's, we're just trying to show that the Earth is symmetrical. And this is what I found out, and that's what was so shocking to me, is that the South is what we're taught. So we're here telling everybody they're lying to us, they're lying to our kids, they're lying to this and that. And then you go down there and you find out that the South is what we're taught. It is the opposite of the North. And if anybody doesn't believe me, then go prove it. Go show me that, oh, here's 45 degrees south and it's completely different than 45 degrees north. You can't do that because they are symmetrical, meaning that 6 months later, they'll be identical, just the sun going the other direction. So anyway, we'll keep going here. What are we at here? We're at 36 degrees south. Wait, where? Oh, where are we at? 39. Okay. So we're at 40 degrees. You'll see as we get further, you'll see it starts to get more and more steep, going right to left. And so this is something anybody can go check. Now, this is what the model, which is people go around saying the globe Earth has no model. It's such a joke. This is the globe Earth model. This is the model. It works fine. It was perfect. So you'll see.
It's hard to dispute that, really.
It's hard to dispute it. I mean, here's the other thing is everybody lives somewhere mapped on that globe that we're looking at on the screen. And they can go outside and they can check the sky at the date and time that it says, and it will match what they see. And how do I know that? Because nobody's ever debunked Google Earth. So this is one of the luxuries that we have of being born when we were. Somebody handed us a map and said, here's where you live. And we have eyes, so we can go verify. That's it. So it's not you can know whether, if somebody gives you a map, it's not like they said, we don't know what the Earth is, and we're all guessing. They said, this is what the Earth is. And they handed us a map and a globe. And we just chose to just say we don't believe it because the globe, and again, I'm the first one to say, I think living on a globe is weird. It is very weird. Living on a ball in space is weird. Okay. But if it's fact, get over it. I think having bugs in my stomach is weird.
One thing I have a hard time with is like the whole upside down thing. It's like, sure, I get gravity, but it's like, is that really the explanation that we're not fucking falling off? Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. And then I thought in space, there is no up, down, left, right, north, south, or anything like that. So how can you even, I guess you say North America is North America, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, or what?
No, because there would be no orientation in space. So you wouldn't fly away from the Earth and know what the top is and what the bottom is. Because it's just everybody's like this, like the video we're watching right now. I'm always standing on the globe. Right. I'm never, just because I'm going south doesn't mean that I'm now somewhere where, okay, so just real quick, I'm at 67, 68. So I'm just going to go a little bit further so you can see now the problem is that now that decline or that sharp angle is not enough to make the sun. Oh, maybe a little bit. Let's see. Go a little bit further. What is the date? Oh, so we're already January 26th. But if I went back a little bit towards December, let's see, now we're at 74. You'll notice that the sun, there it goes, right? It's not going to set now because there's not Earth for it to run into. So this is where you're now in the south. Oops, what did I do? And you're getting the 24-hour sun because you're in January. And again, this is another thing. People say, well, how do you know they took you where they said they did? You could have gone to anywhere. No, the Earth is mapped. So if they take me to 70 or 80 degrees south, then the sun has to do what it does at 80 degrees south. You don't have an option. So if
man, people that say you're faking it or you didn't go down there, I mean, that's just like a kindergarten type of argument.
That's why they're garbage pail kids.
It's like, come on, man. It's like such a cope. But man, I lived in Iceland for a minute, and I got to see the 24-hour sun while I was up there. And of course, that was like years ago, so I wasn't even thinking about flat Earth or none of that shit. It was pretty trippy.
I didn't know your time ran out. My bad. I didn't know, unless I didn't start the clock. I thought I did. But
bro, don't be trying to rush me off, folks.
I'm getting you out of here. I'm going to kick you out.
That's all good. No, I just had that half-baked idea, and but I'm glad you explained that, because I was like, oh, couldn't you just like follow the sun, and then I guess the equator is where it splits off, so then where you would see it go the opposite direction, I guess, right?
Correct, but it's because your orientation, like I showed, the sky's
right.
You're flipping upside down. Now again, upside down means your feet are where your head should be. So nobody on Earth is upside down because nobody's feet are where their head should be.
No, for sure. I get that. But it's just the people on the opposite side of us are upside down to us, correct?
Yes. If you were to zoom away from the Earth, for sure. Yep.
And right. And then that's just gravity holding everybody together, right?
Gravity pulls to the center. So, yes. So everybody's down is the same direction towards the center.
Yeah, I got you.
This
all right,
model
bro.
here.
I'm out of here.
Take it easy.
Peace.
If anybody looks up this model here, which is the DJ Marsh model, or Dr. AJ Marsh. This model here is just incredible. That it was what really explained to me that, like, oh man, the Earth is seriously symmetrical. And let me just show you an example of that. If you go to any date here, and then you go to any latitude, so let's just say we go down here to 30 degrees latitude. Oh, you can't see where we're at, but we're at 30 degrees. I want you to see over here where it says, let me drop this real quick and get rid of this one. And all right, so if you notice, we're at 30 degrees north. And you'll see over here where it says daylight hours, 1305, okay? Or is it 1306? 1305. So what's crazy is if we move this longitude, which means we're staying on the same latitude, look at the daylight hours. Do you see that? 1305. It's the same everywhere on the latitude, every day. So no matter where you go here, if we go down to here and we look at the daylight hours are 1231, move this and it stays 1231 for everybody, okay? And then if you think about the difference between, let's say, let's go to a latitude of, I don't know, where I live, 37. Okay, so we're 37 north. Okay, and let's bring this around. Let's move this globe. Okay, so 37 degrees. Give me this. North, oops, just type that in, 37. I know you can barely see it, but it'd be good enough. All right, so 37, now we come around. This is where I live here in California. Okay, so if we're looking at, let's change the date to June date. Useful dates. Let's go to the summer solstice in the north. Okay, so there's June 21st, right? And you'll notice that it says the daylight hours are 1442. Okay, so that means I get 14 hours, 42 minutes of daylight on June 21st from 37 degrees north. Okay, so now what do you think it is if I just type in useful dates, winter solstice? Okay, so now we're at December 21st, and we go instead to 37 degrees south. We're going to put minus 37. Okay, now we're at minus 37, so now we're at 37 degrees south. And look at the daylight hours of 1442, and if I run it around, it's the same. Okay, how is it? I mean, you need to think about what I just said. The Earth is so symmetrical, it's so perfect. The north is the opposite of the south. There's no question anymore. If you think I'm wrong, then go disprove this. And when you can't, it means time to wake up. It means time to get onto a real conspiracy. What you're doing is lying to children. Now, here's my problem. When I got into Flat Earth, my biggest problem was they're lying to our children. They're indoctrinating our children with this stupid globe idea, and they're liars, okay? And I went real hard at them, and I went hard at NASA and everything else. Well, now I've realized that they weren't lying, that we are. So if you think I can just go away, a lot of people say, why don't you just disappear? Why don't you just go away? Then I'd be a hypocrite. I don't want people lying to children. It just so happens that accusation has gone the other direction now. Now I see who's lying to children. The Dave Weisses, the ones who say, oh, this picture was from NASA and it shows bushes in Mars, lying to children. Okay? Saying the plane needs to nose down, lying to children. And if you don't realize that you're going to make their life even harder, and the Earth will never be flat. It can't. So let's go back to the calls. Let's get back to see who's in the multi-guest. Got 2 people waiting. I'll set the clock here and start it. Oops. I lost my clock. And go reset and play. All right. And we've got Chardok. What's up? Is I said it right? Chardok?
You did indeed.
All
I'm
right.
actually just here to see if the guest echo issue was fixed, and turns out, sounds good.
I believe that we
I have
fixed
no
it.
echo.
I believe we fixed it. We feel pretty good. I think if I tried to play something like a YouTube video, I don't think you'd hear it, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
Right on.
We're not playing too
anyway,
much. Yeah.
good on you for fixing it. I'll freaking leave to get you some ops up here. Take care, man.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, let's go with Max in the house. Max, tell us when you're going to do this observation, since I just shit the bed right now in front of everybody.
Hey. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, you're drinking. Sorry.
I was drinking. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to check in. We're going to do this on March 20th, which is the equinox.
Nice. Okay, March 20th.
And I've been checking SunCalc, and we only have a 1 hour difference in the sunset.
Okay.
So we're still going to do it because I would have to go. Florida is kind of lined up with the middle of the Pacific Ocean past Chile.
Right.
So, but 1 hour is not that much. So I think we're still going to do it. And it will clearly show that I was live streaming. It will be an uncut live stream. And my sunset went right to left, and his will go just a little bit later, left to right. So we're still going to do it, even though it's
Yeah, and even if you're both filming at the same time, so say you start at an hour, let's say it's setting at 7, and for him it sets at 8 or whatever, then you could start recording at 6:30, and both of you be able to record the direction that it's going, which is the opposite direction. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea.
Yep. So that's going to be awesome. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Oh yeah, you gave me the idea.
Well, and I thought about
it goes to you.
I thought about setting something up like that, but it's weird. On the Earth, there's not really any similarities as far as land, north and south. There's just not a lot of places that would work. I guess you could find somebody in Africa that would be able to match up with Europe or something, but I don't know anybody in the heart of Africa.
Right.
Maybe
that would be a little bit harder.
Where does Flatzoid live? He lives in South Africa.
South Africa.
So what is this? Yes, I mean, there's places that he could probably find somebody to do it, but again, he's not trying to find the truth either. So
no, but there's we could maybe get the Star Stuff. She's sort of a new flat Earth debunker that came out. She's also from South Africa.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, no, we should do that. I mean, I think that I don't know if you remember. Do you remember when Nathan Oakley did the? It was like Observe the Sun Day or something. Do you remember? Yeah, I mean, it's a long time ago. I just thought that was kind of cool. That was back in the day when there was people doing observations and actually caring. But something like that would be just fun for people to see. Like on that December 21st, that the fact that the sun does stay above the Tropic of Capricorn, and that's not man-made. That's nothing that anybody can control. That is a feature of where we live.
Right.
Just happens.
I did last week. We kind of raided Oakley's show, and we got to 11 Glovers muted because Oakley couldn't handle it. And my argument was the sun thing, and it just threw them for a loop. In the after show, they were saying, no, but left and right is subjective. They never listened. That it's like you're looking at the sunset. It's not subjective. You're looking at where the sun sets. That's west.
Right.
So left and right becomes fixed.
Yeah, and I can see it happening when we say it, and they kind of go through that motion. It's because it used to happen to me, which is just it is your brain trying to protect your current belief. So sometimes I do think some of them are lying clearly, but I also think that some of them just can't get it through their head, and it's because it destroys their belief system. So they just can't. If they accept that that's the way it works, then they have to accept that the flat Earth can't work. So I mean, again, what are the chances that can happen? Probably not very good.
So March 20th, it's coming up. I'll let you.
I like
go
it.
on with the show.
And you,
Take care.
and who else is doing it with you?
Yes. Icy Spin.
Okay, cool. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
And so you'll be doing it on your channel. People can catch up with that and everything.
Yep.
Okay.
But then, of course, we'll share it and we'll make it. We'll time lapse it so we can make it a more digestible. So you don't have to watch like a now 2-hour stream of the sun just moving very slowly.
Very perfect. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Max.
Take care.
Hey, take care. Later. All right. We've got nobody up here, so if you want to join, we'll do this for a little bit longer. Was going to show you on this. So this is the Andrew Marsh model, but like I said, it's just really, you can turn all these things on. They've got, let me show you the kind of things you can turn on. So there's your tropics. You can turn that on or off, but you can turn on twilight. And this gives you the fact that, gosh, I wonder if I could, hold on, let me shrink this a little bit. See if we pull this out and shrink it like that. Now you see it better. Yeah, it's a little better. All right. So you'll see here, this is why, the geometry of the earth allows that half of the earth is always lit. And you know how I know everybody says, oh, there's a day in July that 99% of the world is in light. And you can find that. Go to that day in July. I forgot what it is. July 19th. We'll come close. July 19 is there. And then if we move the daytime around time. Here. Okay. So at a certain time, and I forgot where I think it's like this. Okay. So now you look at all of North America and Alaska and all that is in light. So is all of South America. If we keep turning, so is all of Africa. So is all of Europe. So is most of Asia, if not all of Asia. And the only thing that falls in the dark is Japan, some places over here, and Australia. So people lose their minds. 99% of the population on July 19th is in daylight. And they probably are counting this as daylight, this twilight, and you'll see how it kind of progressively gets darker. So anyway, just want to show that. You can look at the sunbeam. So this is the beam that comes from the sun. Once you play with this, you can't be a flat earther anymore because you can't disprove this. Do you understand? You can't go make an observation that disproves this because the model matches reality. That's why we believe in it. Okay? So if you're looking at why the 24-hour sun happens, change this to December 21st. And get down there. Okay. And you'll see how Antarctica is in the light here. And as the time goes by, we'll move the time now. You'll see that as the sun spins around, the light always stays in Antarctica. See that? It never got dark there. It's that simple. And at that time, guess what? The North Pole never gets any light at all. Now, watch this. Want to see something crazy? I like showing people things that they've never seen before. Watch this. If I grab the, let's go latitude all the way down to the South Pole. Okay. So watch this. If we look up here where it says daylight hours. Oh, now you can't see that. Let me move this over here. Yeah, good enough. See their daylight hours is 24 because we're down at the south on December 21st. Now watch as I bring that up and watch the daylight hours. It's perfect. 24. And here it goes. As we start going up, it's going to go starting now. 23, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Look at it go. 13, 14. It goes in perfect order. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. And then change the date to June 21st. We'll go useful dates, summer solstice. And it's the complete opposite. Now it's 24 hours of daylight in the north. And as we bring the longitude line down, or the latitude line down, watch the hours go from 24, and then they go 23, 20, 16, 15, 14, right? And all the way down. And this is why you can start to figure out things like, if you, I don't know if you know this, but if you live at the equator, that it doesn't matter. Look at the hours here, 12:03, right? Now watch, as I change the date, look at the hours. It doesn't change very much. 12:10, 12:03, 12:10, 12:03, 12:10, 12:03, for the whole year. So if you live on the equator, you don't change daylight hours. Okay, because you get the same amount of sun every day. Basically, it's within 10 minutes. Incredible. Now, you can go and verify this. You can go and check this at your own location. You can check the sunrise, sunset times. You can look at how the azimuth and the altitude are, and you can see that it all works. So, yes, we thought that the Earth appears to be flat because it looks flat, and it appears to be flat because it looks like NASA lies, and it looks to be flat because water lies flat. We see too far, 10% too far. But what other evidence is there? There isn't. There isn't any other evidence. It's just simply people who have gotten so full of themselves and they've made fun of so many people and they're so bravado about it and going on Facebook and calling everybody globetards and things. that they can't see through their own fart gas. You know what I'm trying to say? They're surrounded by their own fumes, and they just can't see outside that anymore. Whereas if you sit down with this and play with this and actually look at it, you're going to walk away from it going, oh shit, how could it be so perfect? You cannot tell people that they live. Let me just tell this again because I keep telling this and I don't think people grasp it. If I got home, let's say I left the house at 5 o'clock, I don't tell my wife where I'm going. And then at 7 o'clock, I come home and she's like, hey, where were you? And I say, I was in Zimbabwe. She'd be like, what? I was in Zimbabwe. She said, no, I mean, where were you the last 2 hours? In Zimbabwe. Okay, so she would immediately not believe that lie because it's preposterous, right? So just think about what you guys think about the globe. You think it's just made up. It's completely made up. Well, that it would be such a ridiculous lie. Who the hell would believe it? Let's see. We live on a flat Earth. I have an idea. Let's tell all the people that live here that they live on a ball, and that water sticks to it, and it spins through space, and it flies crazy speeds, and there's other planets that are equally big, and there's suns that are 100 billion times the size of our sun, and it's just so preposterous. Who would in their right mind think you could get away with that? Do you understand that that's not what happened? That these are things that were found out over the years, that these things match, that they're now modeled, that you can go and verify? So it's not just some, off the cuff made up bullshit, which is what we went around telling people. Oh, the globe is all bullshit. And, oh, how does water stick to a globe? And why doesn't it fall off? Why do the boats on the bottom not fall off? Well, the boat on the bottom is the same as the boat on the top. There is no top or bottom of the earth. Wherever you are living with the ground below you. That's it. So wherever you are on the earth, the ground is down towards the bottom, towards the center of the earth. Now, we don't need to know any of that. It's not important. It really just isn't important. This is why they don't teach us the 8 inches per mile squared, because it's not important. So, and again, let me explain something else real quick, because there's still nobody coming up, nobody in the multi-guest, this is the new thing. It's like all these flat earthers, but they don't want to talk to me. Why? I think I know why. Okay, so what I want you to realize is if you are looking at the water, actually I think GeoGebra is better, but it's kind of weird. I don't want people to think that, well, how do I say it? That water doesn't really bend. Like it does, because think about water on your let me think here what I'm talking about. So water on your body in a shower. Go look at a waterfall. Do you think water bends in the waterfall? Of course. So to say water doesn't bend is kind of ridiculous. That's not true. Water's probably the most bendable substance that there is. What else is going to bend more than water? But if you're talking about bend like seeing it bend, let me show you why that's not the correct way to look at it. Let me get on here real quick. GeoGebra, am I not signed in? What the hell's going on here? Why am I not signed in? I don't even know what sign in is. Is it Google? Is it this account? I believe this one. I think I got it. And yes, let me go to open, start calculator, and open. All right. So this is the, oh, this is actually a good one right here. I'll bring up this real quick. This is kind of cool. Let me bring up this and this. All right. So this is, I forgot who made this. Somebody made it. But it just is a good way of looking at why the 24-hour sun happens in the north and south. But as you see here, you can move this. Where's the date selector? Or can I grab it and move it? I don't remember now. Oops. I thought there was like a date selector or something. Where is it out here? March. Or wait, this? No. Anyway, if you kind of got under here and looked, you could see where right here. So you'll see that we are at the December solstice. So we're at the, you can't see that. There we go. So you'll see we're at the sun, December solstice. And so we're going to go underneath the earth to the south. And you'll see that it's all, this Antarctica would always be in light. And then you can kind of move this around. Why do I remember there being a way to do that? Anyway, we'll go back to the other one. That's not as nice as my Home Depot Earth. Save, that's fine. All right. So I don't care. Open. And I want Home Depot Earth. There we go. All right. So let me move this up so you can see it. Okay. So this is a sphere. See the black line that goes around? And here's where I want you to understand what I'm saying. Okay. So by zooming in and looking at this top part of the globe, do you realize that it's the same everywhere? Right? So just because I'm zooming in at the top doesn't mean you can't imagine that I'm zooming in everywhere, somewhere else. Just, it's always the same. Okay, so if we zoom in here, look how far we have to get in. First of all, here's the sphere of the Earth. Now we're zooming in. Already right here, it looks pretty flat. Right here, certainly looks flat. Now it looks really flat, and we're not even close. We still got to go in. We still got to go in. We still got to go in. That's the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa. Okay, keep going, 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 keep going. Okay, so this is a Home Depot, and this is a man. These are all scaled correctly. They're scaled correctly. This is 20,903,520, which is the radius of the Earth in feet. So this guy's standing 6 foot tall, and you can verify that by looking at the feet there, 620, and then he stands to 626, so that's 6 foot tall. Okay, so this is a spa. Now, do you think that water lies flat and level? Of course. How would you be able to measure that it doesn't? You can't. Okay, and this is an Olympic swimming pool. Does that lie level? Of course. How could it not? And this is what you need to get, is that so water doesn't bend. Do you understand? You can just picture that we keep making these pools. It doesn't change. The pool is the same pool over and over and over and over again across the entire sphere of the Earth. That's it. If you can't grasp that, then I guess I see why you would remain a flat earther. You should be able to grasp that. You should start to go, oh, wait. So imagine that we zoomed into any part of the water, anywhere on the sphere. We would zoom in and we'd say, that is flat. Super, super flat. Okay. And then in order to see that the Earth is a sphere, you have to back away from it. It still looks flat. Still flat. Still flat. Until you get far enough away and you're like, oh shit, the Earth is a sphere. But do you understand that for us to say that we should see that is insane? Stop looking for curvature. Stop saying, oh, we don't see curvature on the Earth. Yeah, you're not going to. Ever. Why would you see that? You're not far enough away. You are very, 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 very tiny. We're this little guy over here. And again, people want to make fun of the Home Depot Earth because they can't grasp the simplicity of it. Imagine you build this Home Depot. You would use a spirit level. You'd put it on the ground. You'd build a Home Depot. Wherever you're at, you use the spirit level, and then you're done. Now, when you go to the next Home Depot to build the next one, do you ask the guys at the first one, hey, are we level with you? No, you just build it again. Using a spirit level, you build the Home Depot. You build it, you build it, you build it. Okay, now let's move to the third one. Do you ask the first two guys if you're level with them? Nope. You just build it again with the spirit level. And you just keep doing that over and over again. The whole Earth could be Home Depots. You would never see any curvature. Anywhere you put a level would show level, and the Earth would be a sphere. And how did I get to that conclusion? Just to show you, when I figured out that for every 660 feet on the Earth, there's an eighth of an inch of curve. That's a nickel lying down. I don't have a nickel on me, but you can imagine how small that is. A nickel lying down for every 660 feet. So that's, would you be able to see water curve in that distance? An eighth of an inch? The answer is hell no. So if you say hell no to that, what you need to realize is that means you'll never see curvature. Hopefully that makes sense to you. That if we moved, so let's say we're measuring here. We go, oh, it's an eighth of an inch. We can never measure that. We don't even have tools. Our best mechanics, our best engineers, our best mathematicians do not have the tool to measure an eighth inch of curve in 660 feet. Okay. Now, if you were done with that 660 feet, which I call 2 football fields, and you moved here, then the next 2 football fields have how much curve? An eighth of an inch. And the next 2 football fields, an eighth of an inch. And you would go all the way around the Earth and come back to where you started, and you never saw more than an eighth inch of curve for every 660 feet. Okay? Now, people want to use the exponential thing and talk about how much it curves over 100 miles, that we can't even see that far usually. Makes it, you should start to figure that out. And if you want to figure out how we got there, I can do it mentally, I guess. Just think about, so the way I figured that out is you can always take half of the half to get to the half distance. So let's say this. Do we know what the curvature in 4 miles is? Well, we know it's 8 times 4 times 4, right? So that's 132, I believe. Okay, so 132 inches of curve for 4 miles. Okay, so if we wanted to figure out what half of that is, so 2 miles, you could just take half of the half. So half of 132 is, hold on, I'm just thinking if I get this right. You got 8 inches, and then it goes to 32, which would be 64. So it's 128. My bad on the math there. Okay, so 4 miles is 128 inches. And then half of that would be 64, and half of that is 32. And is 32 correct for 2 miles? Yes. So let's try it again and see if it works again. So to go to 1 mile, which is half of the 2, we take 32 divided by 2 and get 16, and half of that is 8. Is 1 mile 8 inches? Yes. So we can keep going. So at a half mile, it would be half of the 8 is 4, half of the 4 is 2. So a half mile is 2 inches of curve. And just keep going. 0.25 miles, or a quarter mile, would be half of 2 inches is 1 inch, half of 1 inch is 0.5 inches. Okay, so for a quarter mile, it's 0.5 inches. And then from a quarter mile, we'll go to an eighth of a mile, which is 660 feet. And half of the half, so half of 0.5 would be 0.25. And then half of that is 0.125. And 0.125 is an eighth of an inch. So for every eighth of a mile, which is 660 feet, there's an eighth inch of curve. Okay, that is so inconsequential, so tiny, so minuscule that you can't measure it. So stop looking for it and stop listening to people who go around and think that that's some sort of flex. Oh, we don't see the Earth curve. Yeah, you shouldn't. The Earth's too big. Sorry. Too big. Just like the spin, just like the speed of the spin, just like the speed through orbit. Again, we are thinking on a very human level. We have the task of having to get out of our own minds and realize that scale makes a difference. The Earth goes around once a day, so it spins extremely slow. Okay, now the Earth is huge, and so it's so big that it's moving 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, but we need to think in other terms. We need to think if you went up in a rocket ship and got away from the Earth and we're looking at the Earth right now, it wouldn't move. Do you understand? How about this? It's going 66,000 miles per hour around the sun, right? If you got up in space right now and watched the Earth, it would not be moving, but it's moving 66,000 miles per hour. Now, again, you can cry and whine about it, or you can figure out why that's the case and how scale makes a difference. It does. And just like, so everybody telling you, like Dave Weiss and all these guys saying, oh, we're at a constant acceleration because we're going in a circle, and so we would feel all this speed change. Again, just like when we zoomed in here, I want you to think about this. Picture now, this is not the Earth sphere, but this is a circular path orbit around the sun. Okay, so now picture this. If we go away from this sphere and we say the sun's in the middle, okay, so the sun's in the middle of this sphere, and we're going around it, but it takes us a year. So at any point, if you zoom in and say, hey, the Earth is going in its orbit right now, let's go watch it, and you went and watched it, guess what it's doing? It's going straight as can be. You're not ever turning. But Jaron, it's a circular orbit. It has to go around the sun. Yes, but it goes around in a year. See how straight this line is? There is no turning. Okay, now again, you could just twist that till it's at the top if you need to, because it's the same. So everywhere in the orbit of the Earth is going straight. It's not curving. It's curving on a scale. If you were to zoom away from it and watch the entire solar system, oh, there the Earth's curving over the course of a year. But these are the misconceptions and the things that people are telling you that now I realize are lies. And they've been voiced, and Dave Weiss has been told, and I've been emailing him, and again, he blocked me, so he's not getting into that stuff. But he would just rather lie to you than learn that he's been wrong. So let's see if anybody decided to come up now. And we got somebody. Thank you. One person. Let's see. Who'd they be? So yeah, so the 8 inches per mile squared. I used to wonder, like, how come they never taught us that in school? They should have taught us. Oh, what happened to the person? There we go. Helping flat earthers. Why didn't they teach us about 8 inches per mile squared? It's because you'll never need it. It's inconsequential to your life. Totally. You don't need it. You'll never need it. What's up, Helping Flat Earthers?
Hey, man. I just want to say that I appreciate you showing the Marsh model because it's a great tool for Globers when they're in the debate space.
I think so too.
I've been trying to push that out quite a bit to them to let them, use that as, some ammunition.
Yeah, it just really shows the symmetry. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you can fact check it.
Yep.
It's a testable model. Another thing I wanted you to probably look into are sundials.
Right.
Those are great things to use. And did you say you were doing something on the equinox? Did I hear that correctly?
No, on the solstice, we're going to be June 21st. We'll be at 53 degrees north and then 53 degrees south on the winter solstice. But Max is doing something on March 20th. He's going to be filming the sun from the north and the south doing opposite directions.
Well, what's interesting on the equinox with specifically equatorial sundials, If you take an equatorial sundial on the equinox anywhere on Earth and you align it correctly, it won't work because the alignment of the dial, the equatorial sundial, is parallel with the equatorial plane of Earth.
Oh, got you.
And it just doesn't work. So that's a great thing that you can try out. You can have people at multiple places on that day and just say, hey, align it to where it's supposed to be. And it's a great observation that anybody can do.
And the sun, and so if they wanted to make a gnomon and actually do a sundial, the gnomon just needs to be pointed at the pole star, right?
Yes. So the equatorial sundial is the easiest one to use because it's got all of its markings at 15 degrees per hour.
Right.
So it's a universal dial. So when you take the equatorial dial, you just take you take 90 degrees minus your latitude.
Right.
And that is your angle. And then just point it to either true north or true south, whatever your solar noon marker is. And then that's it. And then on the equinox, everywhere on Earth, you will see that straight line shadow because, of course, the sun isn't going above or below the face of the dial that day. It's actually aligning with the edge of the dial. You'll see that 270 degree west to 90 degree east straight line shadow as well. So I've done some time lapses on those dates to show what it actually does, and it confirms what the globe model states when you do it on a globe model. So it's a great thing, and it's easy. You don't need expensive equipment. It's just and it's fun too. I think it's fun.
Well, it's fun because at least you're learning for yourself. You're not having, because this is the big problem, right? Everybody thinks, oh, you believe in the globe because you were told it. Okay, so that's true that most people at the age of 4 are not doing tests or not doing experiments. So they don't know. They're just told it. But now you're at an age where you can go verify it. So you can't just go around saying that it's a lie when they've given you the answers. So you just go test it, go figure it out, go check if what they're saying is true. And again, it's like they don't want to do that. They'll talk about long distance observations and they'll say, oh, we see too far. But if they actually went to the curve calculator and they actually include refraction and they actually look at be honest with your observer height and not just say we see the buildings across Lake Michigan, but not paying attention to the fact that the person's 200 feet up on the dunes or that he's only 33 miles away and not 55. Or, when you actually do the real work, it always confirms the globe. So that's made me realize that you can't, they couldn't lie to us about where we live. You have to want to be lied to about where you live. So you have to want it to be true that you're lied to, and then you just believe that they lied to you, even though they couldn't even do that if they wanted. How would they? You can't take people who live a certain place and then place them on something completely different, like from a flat Earth to a sphere, and it matches all observations. It just can't happen. So, again, I get why people are like, but Jaron, you believed it for so long. I get it, and I understand why people maybe I am not the right person to tell people because they're not going to listen to me, but they're obviously not listening to Globers either. So,
yeah,
what are you going to do?
It takes, I think some people get it. Some people will accept that fact, but they're the quiet ones, right? They're the ones that kind of
I've gotten some emails like that.
I've even had some flat earthers DM me specifically, early on saying, hey, what you're saying makes sense, but please don't post. They want their privacy because they fear of that backlash. So,
well, I see why.
I think we are doing. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're a great example of that.
And that's what they do, right? It's like a gang. When you leave a gang, they jump you because this tells other people not to leave the gang. Who wants to get jumped?
Fear.
So,
yeah. Do you think part of it though, like from a psychological perspective, do you think that because the flat Earth community is more open and embracing of people, that may be ousted by society, that they're afraid to leave the only community that's accepted them, live the lie, but, and keep the friends kind of thing?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think it's a big problem is because and especially I always say that if you were a flat earther, you have had arguments with people in your family or friends, you've lost friends over it, you've lost a job over it, you've lost a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You've taken the stand that the earth is flat, and so you've actually pushed people away from you. And so to realize that you're wrong is a pretty heavy weight. Now you've got to realize like, oh shoot, if I want that life back, I have to go to apologize to all those people. And by leaving, I'm going to lose. So you'll literally have 0 friends when you leave, and that's just this is why I don't call them truthers anymore. I chose the truth over that. I said, no, the truth is more important. And, yeah, some people did. Patricia, Robbie, Paul on the Plane, Melodome, Speak Truth. There's a couple dozen. But I'm just saying that's not as big a number as I would have thought. And it's because people don't want to face that truth. I mean, what would Dave Weiss do with his life if he realized the Earth is a sphere? I mean, he's Flat Earth Dave, right? I mean, his name is Flat Earth Dave. He's got the so he would really be hurt by it. And again, I'm not saying that means he shouldn't be honest. He should be honest. But I'm just saying that some of these people, like I have to expect now, like I don't expect Dave to ever come around. He literally can't. And so I just wish more people recognized that and didn't go following around and thinking that he's telling these great truths. He's just doing what he has to do to keep his belief alive. That's all.
Yeah. And I try to be a positive influence on people. I tell them, fight ignorance with education, and it's the long game.
Yeah, plant seeds, right?
Yeah, plant the seeds.
Yep.
Be respectful, and try to, or at least I do, and then try to, just get a crack. If you can get that crack open, and then maybe they'll find it along their way. But I've learned to not force.
Yeah, you can't. It's not going to do it. No. And I do get like that after I talk to somebody for too long. If I talk to them once or twice, and that I'm usually nice, and then if it's three, and then they start saying things back to me that I'm like, they're like, well, what about the the sun and the clouds? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, we see the clouds behind the sun. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, no, that's not the truth. Yeah. That's not true at all. You don't see it. And they're like, but I've seen it. No, but that's not what you're seeing. And there's people who have debunked it, and I thought you would have seen that by now. But they just like they have all these, and they'll just skip from one thing to the next. If once you prove something or show them something, then they're like, oh, well, what about this? Okay, well, I'll go through that, but are you going to acknowledge what I just said? Or, it's just like one thing after another. They're just trying to protect their current belief. I get it. I was there. I did it for a long time, and you just couldn't do it anymore when you go down there and see it. And the biggest question I get is still people saying, oh, if what you're saying is true, then Austin would be, he would have left too. And I'm like, well, you can think that, but I mean, I think he sat back and watched what happened to me, to be honest with you. And didn't look like a good time. So... but now he's not around right now. So let's see when he comes back if he's still talking flat Earth or if he moves on to geocentricity and something else. And that should tell people something. But again, these are just little ways that they keep themselves going. Like if Austin came back and switched, it wouldn't be like, oh, now we know the Earth isn't flat. They would just call him a shill, and he's fake, and him and Jerem were paid or something. That's what people are going to do. I get it. But I do appreciate you calling in. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate it. You have a good one.
Hey, take it easy. And people, if you go watch my chest cam footage, if you get to this part here, which is 4 hours, 14 minutes in, Dave McKeegan explains the equatorial mount on this device here. And when you hear him explain it, you'll realize it cannot work on a flat Earth. And it works. You just point it at the pole star, and you get one rotation that can carry the sun all the way through. Well, picture the equator. When it's at the equator, when he shows it at the equator, it just goes like this, kind of like we saw the sun, straight up and down, right? Well, how could that work on a flat Earth? The sun goes straight up and down, but it's moving in a circle. Again, that's not even feasible. All right, let's see if anybody else is here. We will. Okay, good. But yes, 8 inches per mile squared. I wrote that down. Why? I don't know what I wrote that down for. Just because you'll never see it. You shouldn't expect. That's why they didn't teach it. And let's go back to TikTok. All right, we've got nobody in the line. Wow. So I keep thinking I have some. Like maybe people will come up every week and we'll be able to talk. But flat earthers do not want to provide any mechanism for the sun. And they think it's okay to say we don't know what the sun does. Guys, we know where the sun is every minute of every day, every second of every day, and every day for every year, for every decade, for every century. So we do know exactly what the sun's doing. And it's like the equivalent. I used to say this. It'd be like me having an iPad that tracks my son. It tracks him everywhere he goes. He's in the living room. He's in his bedroom. He's out in front. He's okay. So it tracks him everywhere. And then somebody's saying, like, what are you looking at there? And being like, oh, this is where my son is, but I don't know where he's at. I'd be like, well, what? You're looking at that. I thought you said that tracks him where it is. Yeah, I mean, I know where he's at here, but I don't know where my son is. I'd be like, well, no, isn't this telling you where the sun is? Yeah, but we don't know what he is. We don't know where he's at. Yes, you do. That's what you're looking at. So that's the same thing. You can go look where the sun is on SunCalc right now. You'll see where the sun is. So when somebody tells you we don't know where the sun is, or we don't know what the sun does, you have to be smart enough to go, yes, we do. We know where it's at right now. It's above somebody's head right now. Okay, so you can go figure out when that is. So if we know what the sun is doing at all times, and then you realize, like I said, when we go back to Google Earth and we look at the sun setting right to left in the south, think of that. That doesn't work on any flat map, number one. But then also it tells us that the Tropic of Capricorn goes left. So what model says the Tropic of Capricorn goes left? Because one model says it goes right, and the other model says it goes left when you're looking west. And the answer is the globe says, of course, it goes to the left, and that's what it does. And then it's over above Australia's head, and then it's over. So all I hear from flat earthers is, oh, Jaron, I can't believe that you changed your mind, and then what are you going to do with those 100 proofs that you came up with, and how are you going to disprove those? It's like, no, we had 100. You can say I had 100 evidences, okay, but evidence can lead you down the wrong path, especially if you have a confirmation bias. Especially if you're at a murder scene and there's 6 pairs of shoes, and you find, I'm going to go look into these 1 pair of shoes, and in that 1 pair of shoes you're researching, you find all these people that love you, and all these people think you're funny, and all these people think you're good looking. You're going to kind of, hey, I'm going to stay here for a while, right? Even though you're going to, now again, that shoe could have nothing to do with the crime at all. And that's the case with the flat earth, is that there's a lot of evidence, if you want to say that, for a flat earth, but there's no mechanism for many of the things that we observe, whereas the globe has all of the answers for us. Anything that you see, anything that you observe, the globe answers. It doesn't have anything where it says, we don't know what the sun does. We don't know what the moon does. It doesn't do any of that. We don't know how the eclipses happen. We don't know what the eclipse is. We don't know what the moon is. We don't know. Flat earth is just we don't know what. We don't have a clue. How far is the sun? I don't know. How far is the moon? No idea. How far is the dome? No idea. How far does the outskirts of the earth go? No idea. Okay, so really, we are bringing nothing to the table. How do you think that the flat earth is going to ever, like, people think the flat earth is going to take over the globe? How? How? You don't have a model. You don't have a map. You don't have explanations. You don't have descriptions. You don't know sunset times, sunset angles. You don't know why the moon is upside down, why the sun is upside down, why it goes backwards in the south and the right. All these things. How is there a south celestial pole? How is there a south pole? How do the lines of latitude convert or longitude converge? Okay, so the globe answers all those questions, and it can't be a lie because you can go verify, right? And you can go verify whether the flat earth is true, and you'll see that it is not. How do I know that? Bring up a flat earth map. Bring up a flat earth map and ask yourself, how in the hell did I saw the sun? I saw the sun. Oh, I should make a song. Man, that sounds like fun. No, I can make that. I could do a little parody with the, remember the, who is it? Ace of Base. I saw the sign. Good song. Hardly recognize me, I'm so sad. Something like that. Anyway, what was I bringing up? I was going to show you something and I forgot. I was going to show you, oh yeah, this flat earth here. Okay, so if you just look at this map real quick, and this is all you need to know. The sun has to do this every day for 24 hours. But when I was here, we flew to here. Okay, and we left at 11:30. Let's get a different color. Let's go a little yellow. We left at 11:30. By the time we got there, remember when you guys saw earlier, this is where the sun was. Remember the plane was parked like this? We saw the sun up here to the west, and then for the next 4 days, it did this. In this direction, okay? So when it was over here, south of us, it was above their heads here. End of story. How could that be possible? Oh, it's a reflection. No, we tested that. It's not a reflection. We looked at the sun go around us in 24 hours with a solar filter, and the sunspots did not move. There was no reflection. There was no deviation. So you can keep calling me a liar, but what it does is it shows that you have you're incapable of answering any of these questions. So in your mind, you're thinking either Jaron's a liar and the earth could still be flat, or Jaron's being honest and the earth is not flat. And you're choosing to go with the one that's easiest for you, which is call me a bunch of names, call me a liar, say I didn't go on the trip that I went on. I get it. It's your brain protecting you. But I hope you realize that you're wrong. Or eventually you'll realize you're wrong, because the earth will never be flat. It's not going to be 5 years from now, like Dave Weiss keeps telling you, oh, we're at the breaking point. Sure. In order for it to be a breaking point, you would have to explain something. There would have to be something that you could take to people and say, look, this is much better than the globe model. There's nothing. Besides the fact that the flat earth doesn't spin, and people don't feel like they spin. And water looks like it's flat. And okay. Besides that, though, there's nothing else that you're bringing to humanity. What are you bringing to the earth? What are you bringing to humanity? Nothing. We don't have anything. So, that's why I went down to Antarctica, because I thought if the sun set, we would change the world. And I got Duffy to admit that before we left. Duffy, if we go down there and the sun sets, what does that mean? It means that the globe is debunked. It's falsified. Absolutely. Let's go. That's what men should do. What do I think? I think that the sun sets in Antarctica. What do you think? You think it goes around? Shake hands. Let's go check it out. Now, granted, this guy had money to send me there because I wasn't going to have money to do that. But I'm saying that's really what things should come down to. And then you should take responsibility for what the belief that you had for 10 years. I had a belief that was based on the South being a lie. There's no 24-hour sun in the South. That's why, because all that makes sense on a flat earth. Now, the people today, I don't know what the hell they're doing. So you're a flat earther that knows that there's a 24-hour sun in the South? You're a flat earther that knows the direction of the sun is wrong? You're a flat earther that knows that the world cannot work if it's flat, and yet you remain flat? That's different than anybody that was a flat earther for the last 10 years. I hope you realize that. You're in a different class. You're in a different world. Nobody was a flat earther in the past 5 or 10 years knowing all the information that you know. Nobody. The people who were flat earthers before you were flat earthers because they didn't know the information that you now know. So what happened? Let's hear the song one more time. It is the Garbage Flat Earthers, the Garbage Pail Kids. Be right back. It's just 2 minutes. Don't go far. Go pee if you need to, or have sex with your significant other. Be quick. In and out. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
They stink, they smell, and they cannot spell. The kings of the dumpster fire straight out of hell. Reality rejects don't care about truth. They are fearful of facts. They're allergic to proof. TikTok's worst, kids with noses full of snot. Confidence is high, but their IQ's not. Short attention spans, they can't finish a thought. For clip-on and truthers, truth matters not. They don't want truth, or they wouldn't tell lies. Like you can't tell the ground from looking up in the sky. No map, no model, just vibes and memes. Move the sun or ignore it on the Garbage Pail team. Garbage Pail, talking big, thinking small. Garbage Pail, bouncing brains against the wall. Garbage Pail, TikTok, look what you did. From mom's basement to our screens, it's the Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail, think they can't be wrong. Garbage Pail, come through strong. Garbage Pail, looks like angels are shite, and it's Big Dirt Daddy getting dirty all night. Garbage Pail, thinks planes nose down. Garbage Pail, say we don't spin around. Garbage Pail, keep on lying to kids. Yes, this is the Garbage Pail Kids. And they stink.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's listen to the NBA Jam guy. I think, he's not working. I forgot it doesn't work. Doesn't work. I don't think. Nope. I thought it worked, but it doesn't. I got to fix that. All right. It's not going to play for anybody. I think maybe YouTube heard it. Anyway, let me see what's going on with the chat over here on YouTube. I have the wrong page up. Let's go there. See what everybody's doing. How's everybody? I hope you're doing well. Max in the house. I see him down there. Don't assume anything. I like it. Science makes predictions, then we test those predictions, guy. That is true. That's what it does well, and you can actually go verify what they're saying. Now, some things you may not be able to do that. I'm not saying you can go test dark matter. I'm not saying you can test the surface conditions at Pluto. But let's not worry about that. And I told you guys, I see the screen now. I told you guys that I will be right there with you, and we can talk about all the other subjects. Dark matter, dark energy. Are the planets the right distances? Do we know that? Do we know the size of the sun? Do we know the distance of the sun? I'll talk about that stuff once we are on the same page that the Earth is a sphere. Okay? Once we get that down, then we can talk about other things. But if we can't get that down, then we can't move on. or at least, most can't move on. Stop, get off the screen. Thank you. Let me see what we've got over here. Thank you very much. Hey, Charlie, you're a nice guy. Charlie, $20. Appreciate that. Yeah, I got it. Sour pounder. Got it. Measuring curve requires assuming what straight, level, and reference means. Those definitions already come from globe geometry. Data without neutral framing isn't proof. Data without neutral framing. Wait. Measuring curve requires assuming what straight, level, and reference mean. Okay, but hold on a second. You can look at the North Star and you can measure your angle to it. That is your latitude. And then you can go 69 miles north and then it will adjust by 1 degree. Well, guess what 360 times 69 is? It's the circumference of the Earth. You can go. Now, you might say to me, Jaron, I don't want to do that 360 times. That would be insane. Right. So why don't you go test at your house, measure your angle to Polaris, then drive 69 miles north, and then measure again, and it will drop by, or will raise by 1 degree, and then call 2 of your friends in other places of the world. Call somebody in Bangladesh and call somebody in Chile. And when they do the same thing, do you realize yet that now it's becoming increasingly impossible that you could be lied to? Because everybody can go verify. Now think of the globe. Everybody that you know and everybody you've ever known has lived mapped on that globe, and it's always matched their observations. How could that be a lie? Again, nobody's going to come up here because I'm making too much sense. There are assumptions that level follows Earth's center, that straight lines are geodesics, and curvature is expected. Those are globe premises, not neutral measurements. I don't know what that is. Jaron, I showed him the main surveyor measurements, plums diverting. Here he is trying to debunk it without watching it. Where are you guys seeing Boomer? And then he blocked you if you don't see him in the chat. Oakley and the endless Earth is measured. Oh my God, it's so annoying, guys. Let me explain this to TikTokers so you don't. Hopefully, I don't hear you guys saying the same thing Nathan Oakley keeps saying. This is why Nathan Oakley is a scammer, is because once they've said something on Flat Earth Debate, they have to stick to it. They'll never admit that they're wrong. That would be the end of their show. So that's a scam. When somebody just says something and then they have to tell you that that's the truth. So they say that the Earth is measured flat. We measure the Earth flat. Okay, I want you to think right now. Think of my front yard. Okay, I live in a house and there's a front yard out there with some grass. If I went out there and I measured the angle to Polaris, would it make a difference if the Earth was a sphere or if it was flat? And your answer should be no. You still are measuring the angle to the star. So it debunks their entire argument. We are using a tangent. The Earth is the same whether it's flat or a sphere as far as right outside my house because it's very locally. And so, like I said, you can take an angle from a pencil eraser, go up on this pencil eraser and get an angle to a star, and then that's it. You're using a tangent. It doesn't matter that the pencil goes down like this. You're not using that. So people are like confused thinking we're using triangles, and it just shows the scam. It just shows the scam. They have nothing and will forever have nothing. And in order to keep their show going and keep their kids fed and keep the microphone business going, Uncle Fester needs to make you believe that he's telling the truth. Thank you, Lono. Yeah, I think we do need to get Craig some new hats. He's not the some hats I look at, I'm like, where did you get? It looks like the hats that you would get like for free at a A's game back in the 1983. Just like terrible, like, basically garbage. Jaron, they have an argument other than they have an argument other than disproves the globe. No, they don't. They don't have anything. And again, I mean, the one thing I feel the worst about is when people say to me like, well, Jaron, you used to be one of us and now you're making fun of us. I get it. Trust me. And it wasn't that way from the start. It wasn't like I came out of the batter's box just making fun of flat earthers. It was because of how I was treated. It was because friends that I thought were friends for 10 years have not talked to me since I got back. Guys, if you think David Weiss is a good person, let me explain to you. David Weiss was a friend of mine for 10 years. Think of somebody who's been a friend of yours for 10 years, not just internet friends. We've met in person many times. 10 years. He wanted me not to go on this trip because he kept saying, oh, they're going to trick you. They're going to kill you. They're going to fake it, whatever. And I said, Dave, I feel fine. I feel that I'll be able to tell if they fake it. I want to go see it for myself. So I went on the trip. I have not talked to Dave Weiss since I've been back. He blocked me from everything. And what kind of friend is that? Is that a good person? If it was the roles were reversed and Dave went down there and came back a glober, I'd be watching everything. I'd be talking to him daily. Dave, explain to me how you believe it's a globe now. Explain to me. It's been 10 years that you've been a flat earther. How the hell did you flip? Why is nobody asking me those things? Why is Dave not asking? Why would you just block somebody? Is that a good friend? Is that a good person? This is what flat earth does to you? Oh, flat earth, it makes you a better person. You're godly. You're spiritual. Dave talks about God all the time and how spiritual he is. I think God will be real happy when he finds out that Dave completely discarded me for being honest. I went on a trip and told the truth, and I lost all my friends. Does that make any sense to anybody? No, it doesn't make any sense to anybody. So it just tells me that none of those people were my friends, and so I'm sorry if I mouth off a little bit now. I don't consider any of those people good people anymore. The way that they've treated me, which I would have never treated people like that ever. There's nothing you could have done outside of hurting my family somehow, physically, that would cause me to never talk to you again or do some of the things, share revenge porn and all the things that these guys thought was great ideas. It's just like, what kind of pathetic human being are you? Somebody who I'd sent stuff to in the past sent that like an email to people, a hidden email or like an anonymous email. And then those people went into chats and were passing out the link to other people. What kind of people do that? Do you know, like, if I got an email from somebody that says, oh, look at these pictures of Dave Weiss in weird positions or whatever it was, I would delete it. At no time would I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Karen B's chat right now and I'm going to hand out this link to people. That is a disgusting human being. They have no morals. They're garbage humans. And they try and act like, oh, well, Jaron, you, and it's like, yeah, adults talking adult things. Did I do anything illegal? No, you did. Passing out revenge porn is illegal. You committed a crime. Did I commit a crime? Nope, 2 adults. Consensual. That's not a crime at all. So wake up. The people that you think are good people, these flat earthers, are not good. The people that you go to bat for in these little TikTok clubs, these little live streams that you all go to bat for each other, they're not good people. The second that you change your mind, they will turn on you. It's why you remain a flat earther, to be honest. It's why you do that. Do you think if there's anything else? Let me see if there's anybody else that's going to join on TikTok, or else we'll probably shut her down. Nobody. Wow, this is... Well, I am not very popular on the TikToks, and I know why. Jaron, a flurf told me that gravity wasn't real because we have never isolated it. You never isolated it, so it's just the things that make sense. Like, people are so shocked with me. Like, what are you saying? You believe in orbits now? Well, yeah. The reason I didn't believe in the orbits because I was a flat earther. So orbits doesn't make sense with flat earth. Oh, we did get a guest here. Let's get this person up. Let's see who's here. We've got Balone. What up, B? Let me turn on your clock here. Reset. Start. Go. My Baloney had a first name. It's B-O, or what is it? It's O-S-C-A-R.
Right.
Yes.
Jaron, well,
Yes.
awesome. I've seen you around a few times on TikTok now.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think you've got an interesting story. You had a particular view of the way things worked, and a certain selection of information that you accepted and rejected, and then you went and gathered firsthand information yourself, and that changed things for you. And I think that's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's although I see why it's hard for people to do, and I see why everybody says it never happens. Oh, don't get bit. Is that Cujo? Anybody else was so scared of that movie as a kid? Cujo was the scariest movie there ever was.
Sorry, what movie?
Cujo. I don't know. I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. I don't know why the hell Stephen King. Stephen King about a scary dog that eats people and stuff. Anyway, I just heard that dog barking, and it sounds like Cujo trying to get in the car. Go ahead. I interrupted you. What happened? I don't know. I see him there, but he's not talking. Jaron, a flurf. Oh, yes, somebody else. Boomer, I don't care. I don't debate flurfs. I insult them. J Sauce. Oh, we lost that person. All right, let's go back. I did see another person there, but I don't see it now. Whoever was up there, you dropped off. The boomer, the argument, I don't know what they're saying. I'm not really paying attention. I was terrified of that movie when I was a toddler. It's a very scary movie. Cujo got him. Yeah, I think so. Cujo's got him. I was terrified of that movie. Cujo, you guys broke up over FE? Who did? That rabid dog Cujo was terrifying, very much so. Pink Eye Sean, do I need to tell you how you're getting that pink eye? Get your nose out of girls. Sorry. Go ahead.
You got the idea, right?
Can't say I haven't been there a time or two in my life. Yes, go ahead.
Right. Hey, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing and everything that you've done and sticking your neck out there. You know, a lot of kudos to you.
Thank you.
I would like to know if you're interested in those in our TikTok little world that like consistently talk shit about you behind your back. Just to be blunt, you know?
No, because it's too much to worry about. And like, I'm not going to be able to clear my name at this point anyway. It's just because they believe everything that they hear, right? So like, because I'm the hated one, it's very easy for anybody to say anything they want. And every flat earther listening is going to believe it. They're not going to verify. They're not going to follow up. So what am I going to do? Go around and try and clean my name? It's at this point, it's just a bunch of shitty people saying shitty things. And again,
I would love to bring your attention to one in particular.
Okay.
He goes by the name of Accolade TV. Please write this down.
ACALADE?
Because ACCOLADE TV.
Okay.
And the only reason why I want to bring it to your attention, and people could, talk shit about this, I feel he's slandering the shit out of your name. I feel like that he's using what you have stated to an advantage of his own to distort and prove, quote unquote, his flat Earth model to be incorrect. He's actually live right now talking about your observation and using your stuff at this current moment. And just being the little dickhead that I am, I would love to just pass on the information to you because I can't stand the dishonesty.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I call a cheap pop too, right? In wrestling, if a guy comes out in Houston, Texas, and says, "Hello, Houston, Texas," it's called a cheap pop because what you're doing is, of course, the crowd's going to cheer for you. So it's the same thing. You're talking to a flat Earth audience, and they know they hate Jaron, so whatever you say is going to be celebrated. So it's just people being cheapskates and being content whores. They basically are going to do anything they can to get an eye on their channel.
Facts. So. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention. And one last thing before we go. Some of us wasn't in here for the earlier whenever you explained the whole misinterpretation of you never being South.
Right.
End quote. That Mr. We don't even need to say his name.
Well, they know exactly what they did, and they know exactly what I mean. I hope that people see what kind of people they're backing. Because, that guy told numerous lies in that debate, like, the sun, Chinese sent up a fake sun, just things that are demonstrably false and lies. And nobody cares about that, right? So nobody's making clips of that. So they find the one clip which has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth anyway. And they know I went to the Antarctica. They've seen the videos. So it's like it's like a game to them. It's the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
They're not actually out for truth. And so they actually mean nothing to me. They really do.
I loved how you put it, how you said, like, look, at the end of the day, I've never been south whenever it's been dark. So there's no way for me to being able to see the Southern Cross.
Well, and again, you have to remember that he asked me for footage of the Southern Stars. So I got him footage of the Southern Stars. Then he says, point to the Southern Cross. Well, what do you mean? Why? This is why do I have to show that? I don't know where the Southern Cross is. I don't live in the South. So it'd be like telling somebody who's been in the North for one day to say like, oh, show me where the Big Dipper is. And they look at a sky. It's like there's not constellations drawn on the sky. We were looking at the sky. It's just a bunch of stars. So I don't know which one the Southern Cross. Now, if I lived down there, I went down there often. I'm sure you learned the Southern Cross because you use it to figure out where South is. I didn't have time to learn that. Sorry. So again, I said I've never been South, and they're like, oh, that means you know. Well, you know that I've been to Antarctica. I mean, I've never been South other than that ever. So not one day in my life had I ever been South until I went on that trip. So again, it just shows it's good for me because I get to see what kind of people they are. In fact, I had a different opinion of TikTok until that happened. That was when I realized, oh, I see what you guys are doing. And then for them to immediately remove me from that debate and then say, oh, he left, he rage quit. And I have the screenshot that says the so-and-so moderator removed you. So, and then I was sitting there trying to get back in and they just wouldn't let me back in. So I was like, oh, this is all a setup. This is what they do. It's a game. And I don't have respect for anybody like that. Zero.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and another person that they were, you know, close and friends to was Dirk Cuz. And Dirk Cuz done an awesome observation, and he went through all the data, and it took him a while to put things out because he knew he was going to be
well, it's like, do you think nobody's going to become a flat earther because of what they're saying about me not going to the South? Right. So what it's going to do is it's only going to drive people away. Look what happened to like Phoenix Oracle is somebody who used to do live streams. And then because she was on the fence, she reached out to me and said, hey, will you come on my stream and answer some questions from some people, which I did. Thought everything went fine. But ever since then, she got gang stalked. She got masked, unfollowed. She got basically pushed out of TikTok because she associated with me by just reaching out because she was on the fence. So this is a sign of a cult. This is a sign of disgusting people that are not actually out for the truth. You would be happy that she got me on the show. She'd be like, oh, thank you for getting Jaron. We wanted to talk to him. Not, oh, you brought somebody on who thinks different than us. Now you are one of them. You must be a shill. You must be involved. It's just insane. And it's I think it's very clear to everybody that's looking, except for the Garbage Pail Kids. They feel like it's some sort of win. You know,
yeah.
What live will end?
I love your song. Play it more often.
Thank you.
Let's get it out there more often.
It's fun.
Get some more Garbage Pail Kid cards going up. And, you know, I sure love to sit here and watch all these talk smack like Katie did, Katie didn't, whatever the fuck she wants to go by today. And Dr. Fart and all these others want to talk smack, but then none of them want to come up and talk to you. None of them want to confront you. I find it funny.
And I've got some funny stories about some people that before I went were like close friends. It's so funny. When I got back, I started thinking about people in the past, like what happened to that person? And I would go look through TikTok and I just couldn't find them. And I was like, wow, I guess they left. And I thought a bunch of people left after I got back. And then I realized they all blocked me. So on TikTok, like, you can't find them. So it was like so funny because I got some funny stories about some of these people and some stuff that I wouldn't think that they would want out. But again, I'm not like them. I don't do stuff like that. I'm not a terrible person. So, you know, so it's just it just tells me what kind of people they are. And it's so funny because I used to tell people, oh, flat earth makes you a better person. And it objectively does not. It objectively makes you a more, you start caring less about anybody. You start thinking everybody's lying, everybody's against you. The second somebody changes their belief a little different than you, then they must be a shill, they must be working for the government, they must be an agent. With that kind of mentality, you will only grow further from the truth, and you will only grow further from people and being a loving, caring human being. You'll just become garbage. You'll become a garbage pail kid. So.
Yep. I think you said it best when you said cult. That's what they do. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate
Keep
it.
your head up, bud. Thanks.
Keep your head out of any asses, please. Thank you. All right.
Absolutely.
Durkas, welcome to the show. How are you, my friend? I want to know how you're getting treated by the wonderful flat earthers.
What's happening?
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah. So, yeah, you got my support, okay? You know that. And if you need something, I'm a phone call away, a DM away.
Thank you.
I fully support what you're doing. I don't have the energy or the stamina to try to convince anybody. I'm fine just knowing myself.
Good.
But I want to tell you something. The other day, Caleb blocked me, right?
Okay.
And I remember he came up here and was all buddy to win all that and everything. And so he blocked me, and then he unblocked me, and I knew it was a setup. So I went to his live, and he brought me up. I barely got anything out, okay? Before he muted me and said, he doesn't even know me, okay? And said that he knows me and that I'm a lonely old drunk. I haven't drank in decades, not since my 20s. I'm 66. So he went on this spiel yesterday after he muted me and booted me down to the comments saying how he's listened to me debate. I don't debate People that are on TikTok, they know I don't debate. I'm not a debater. And he's saying all this stuff with 300 people in the room. And you know, he's getting money. And I'm comparing this to how you just got some funds, I guess, on YouTube, right? You're very gracious about it. He makes a point to say, oh, that'll buy me a hamburger. And then someone else gives him some money, goes, oh, okay, that'll buy my kids a hamburgers. And I thought to myself, just now, as you're accepting gifts, he is the prime example of a grifter. Okay? Petty swindling, right? He's letting his 300 followers know, right? Yeah, thanks. Wasn't very much. And I just thought to myself, okay, so here he refuses to hear my facts and my evidence, and he decides to mute me and then boob me and call me a drunk with just making it up and saying that he's heard me debate before, making these things up, okay? And here I want to talk to him, and I want to hear his explanation on the fact that I have this evidence that's huge. It's a body of evidence that was compiled by the internet, not me. Mine just matches that.
Right.
And he refuses to even engage the facts or the evidence. For him, it's more important to berate me where I don't have a chance to fucking say anything.
Yep.
He mutes and boots me and then tells his 300 followers that I'm a drunk. And it's just ridiculous that he needs to be, he's so immature and he has to stoop to that level when all I'm interested in is hearing what his explanation is of my observation and the fact that it's backed up by so many random observations with people that have no skin in the game. But he won't even go there. It's more important to him. But you know, I don't want to monologue. I already did. And I think you're very gracious how you accept, you know, gifts from people. And it's night and day when you listen to Caleb. He is so immature. And
Yeah.
I just want to say again, I'm fucking there for you. You need
Thank you.
something, you reach out, brother.
And same goes for you, because I know that you're going to get it. You know, I know what you're facing now. I know that you have to have balls to be able to come out and say what you did. Hey, you know, the Earth's a sphere, and deal with it, because you're going to get people that hate you. And then, yeah. So with Caleb, he's going to take the position like he did with me, that just, we don't know what the sun does, and we can't release, and observations don't prove anything. And, you know, it's like, okay, then that's just somebody who just wants to remain in purgatory and just kind of keep the fans close as long as he can, because he knows if he talks to you that you're just going to eliminate people from his audience, you know, with your observation.
Well, I want to hear his explanation.
Right, but he doesn't have one. That's the point.
I know that.
Right, but I'm saying, so
I've
he can't.
heard-
So he
I've
can't
heard.
he can't let his audience know that, because then they're going to start to wonder, like, wait, how? So same thing with my observation and what's going on in the South with the sun, and me saying it's a symmetrical thing. That people can't let that be heard, because it will only cause people to doubt what they believe. So they have to block me. They tell other people to block me. It's the same thing with you. He's going to get rid of you. He's going to make you look, and then he has to call you a drunk so that he hopes that none of those people look at you again.
Jared, I'm going to tell you something right now, okay? In 2018, I was researching Flat Earth way before 2018. But that's when I really, really bought into it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I was into him.
Okay? But I want to tell you, okay, that coincided with my midlife crisis, if I had to define one, right? Heavy, hard drug usage. Heavy, unbelievable heavy drugs, okay? And now I look back at that, and I look at these other people, and it just makes me wonder.
Yeah, it makes me
Right?
too. It makes me wonder too. You know, I don't know if you ever watched any of the WWF episodes I did, which were called "We Were Flat," and I was kind of playing off the WWF idea. And then we had maybe 15 episodes or 10 episodes, and then there wasn't a lot of people coming out anymore, so I kind of did away with it. But if you go watch those, something that we discovered is that every single flat earther had a moment right before they became a flat earther, a traumatic moment, some sort of traumatic event in their life, be it one guy had a broken his leg and was, laid up for a couple months. Other people had the COVID thing. Everybody had something that they were looking for something, whether it was friends, whether it was, and the kind of same thing for me and my wife. My wife and I had moved away from my hometown. We were over here in Merced where we didn't know anybody. And so, were we looking for some friends, some validation? And when you just start speaking about flat earth and all of a sudden you get all these people that like you and to say you're funny and say how great your videos are, it becomes almost a impossible task to have your mind be okay with saying, I don't think those people are being honest. I think that these people calling me names and saying, don't procreate and drink bleach. Those are the ones being right. Your brain, it's just hard for your brain to do. So I feel for everybody who had a moment like that. And then there's this flat earth group that's out there saying, we're open arms, right? Come over here. We know that the government's been lying to us. We know that this has been happening. And it's just a very welcoming feeling, and it's easy to fall into.
Yeah.
So, well, I do wish you the best. And I do think that, like you said, or like somebody said earlier, planting the seeds is all you can do. So, I appreciate any time you spend, even if it's up there with Caleb for 5 minutes, because it's going to cause people that little seed that you plant. You made an observation that matched the globe. And guess what? If anybody else goes out and makes observations and is honest with themselves, the same thing will happen. They'll also find that it matches the globe.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Well, thank you. 100%. And is that
okay?
Hey, appreciate it. Huh? Take it easy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know how to get a hold of me.
I will contact you.
Lots of aloha.
All right, later. All right, that was Dirt Cuz, and check out his channel to watch his observation over the islands of Hawaii. We have Fits of Rage says, Jaren's not a NASA shill, he's a Home Depot shill. That is true. I forgot I was going to go yesterday. I'm going to go to Home Depot and stand in front of it and take a couple videos so that I can include those in the back it up intro. Charlie, again, thank you for the $20. And Grug sent 10 Jeranism gift memberships. You are the man. Thank you. Grug. Do I know you, Grug? I don't know why that doesn't sound familiar. Jim Daniels, I know him. He's all over the place, being very gracious, being very generous. Thank you. All right. Well, somebody come up. Let's go one more. It is 8:15. We'll be wrapping it up here in a second. We've got kinematic duality. It's kinematics, my friend. Kinematics.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Good, you?
Good. Hey, I'm not up here to debate. I just wanted the chance to talk to you, to be able to say, hey, what's up? I used to watch you on YouTube. I enjoyed your debate-isms.
Thank you. I think we'll have that come back. I've had a couple people reach out, so it might come back as soon as we get some people that want to debate.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question if you're going to bring that back. So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm open to and I'm open to anybody that wants to debate there. So just if you've got somebody you want to debate against, I believe that I'm a good moderator, that I just want people to let each other talk and get the information out there and then let people choose for themselves. So I certainly don't take sides when it's debate moderation. It's more about letting both sides be heard, because that's really what the truth is about. Nobody's going to come up. It's not like I'm afraid now of the flat earth taking over or something, like it's just, go up, say your piece. And if you have something to say or some evidence, we would love to hear it. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I liked it, is because you are a good moderator and you weren't too biased on that and everything. So, I am I do lean flat. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not here to debate right now. But I'll come back another time and I'll definitely join and, try to get some good talking points.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, it's trying to find answers for, what was seen in the South. And then really, because let me ask you this, as a flat earther, wouldn't you say that if I asked you whether the South was what we're taught, what would your answer be?
Oh, yeah. I think what they say we see in the sky is true.
Oh, you do think that?
Yeah, I think we have to. And also, one thing I wanted to say was, flat earthers bring up like Admiral Byrd all the time.
Yep.
He's actually on video saying that there's a 24-hour sun in the South. And if we're gonna reference him at all, we got to acknowledge like that was real too.
Right.
So,
and this is the problem with the flat earthers is that they hear one thing and then they all pass around. This is why I think TikTok's such a problem, is that there's got to be a ton of clips of him saying, oh, there's, on the other side of the South Pole, land as big as the United States. And people all jump to the conclusion he means some other land, and they don't realize that there's land on the other side of the South Pole that's as big as the United States. That's all he was saying.
correct.
It's just
Correct. It
land
could
is right
be
there.
taken in different kind of context.
Right. And so that's what is really good at flat earthers are really good at, is clipping things. They're making it seem like somebody said something. It's just like they took my clip and said, "Oh, look, he's never been in the South," which is just preposterous. But it's what they feel is their only mechanism, and they feel like they were lied to, so they don't mind lying back, right? And they feel like if we're lying for the right reasons, then it's okay or something. They're just terrible people, terrible humans, and so. Anyway, but not all of them. I mean, there's some good people. I'm not saying you're bad. I don't know. Yeah, I've never heard you badmouth me or anything like that. And I'm open to talking to people if they have questions. People know. You can reach out to me on probably one of the most accessible people as far as Telegram and Facebook. If you reach out to me, I get back to you. If you reach out too much, I'll eventually tell you that, hey, I can't keep going on like this. But if you have questions or want to see pictures from the trip or want to ask a question about the trip, I have nothing to hide. We went down there. It was 100% above board. The Globers had, experiments they were doing and observations they were making, and it just went a lot different than I even expected. And so it was, and you can just tell when you go down there, there's people down there that work down there, that's a whole outfit. ALE is a huge company. We went to dinner with them the night before we left, and we were at this big table, and we got to ask them all these questions about, well, what if somebody wanted to cross Antarctica by foot? How did they do that? And they're like, oh, well, we ask them for the coordinates that they want to do, where do they want to start, where do they want to end. Then we have to take a truck that has a radar thing on it, and we drive that path, and we put, rations. Like if they need food, maybe they can't carry as much food as they need, so we'll put like dumpsters or little containers along the path that they can eat from. And it's expensive because that costs a lot of money for the truck that has the radar to have to drive through Antarctica and map out where these crevasses are so you don't die. But basically, ALE helps anybody. Here's another thing that we heard. I think I didn't say, we can't say this. ALE built Elon Musk's house in Antarctica. So he has a getaway that ALE built for him in Antarctica. So they were, pointed out that they're the ones who built that. So they've kind of done all of it. The guy that died, Henry Worsley, I think died in 2000, I don't remember the year, 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there. They were the ones that mapped out his path. And so the weird questions I get from a bunch of people is, why is there planes that don't go across it? And it's like, logistically, that's not what they do. The ALE plane that they own, or that they rent at least for the season, goes from Punta Arenas to Union Glacier, and then there's a little prop plane that goes from Union Glacier to the South Pole. And then if you're coming from the other way, say you're from Australia, there's another flight that comes in that lands at Mawson. What is the name of the base? The one with the M. Anyway, and then from there it flies a prop plane to the South Pole. So when people say, why doesn't it fly across? Well, that logistically doesn't make sense. If you took people across Antarctica from Punta Arenas across Antarctica to Australia, well, now that plane is in Australia, but that's not even, the ALE plane doesn't even go there. So it doesn't even, how are you going to get people to buy tickets at a plane that doesn't even go there? It's a one-time thing. So it's just, logistically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's no place for it to land besides Union Glacier and besides that. Why can't I think of the other, what do I think? What's the name of the base in Mawson? What the hell's wrong with me? Yeah, I think it is. I don't know what the hell the name is. Mawson? What is the name of the base in Antarctica?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie, no idea.
I don't know why I'm saying Mawson. That doesn't seem right.
I definitely believe you guys went though. I bet that was an amazing experience, to be honest.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, you'll never see some. So there's Mawson, and okay, there's Mawson. Yeah, no, it's just incredible, and to be on a plane all by yourself like that with 10 people on a plane. I mean, I'll never see that again in my life. So pretty much every aspect of it, the way that they welcomed us when we got there, as far as the ALE staff and the way that we had orientations, and that they came to your room and they go through your luggage, every single piece. The lady sits there and says, show me your liner gloves, and you have to show them you have 2 pairs of liner gloves. Now show me your mittens. You have to show them the 2 mittens, and show me the outer glove. So they go through this whole thing. So it's really strict, and they are obviously not so strict. I did get a joint down there, so congratulations me. But people were asking me, what if you would have got caught with that? What have you done? I'm like, oh man, I never really thought about that. Guess I should have thought about that, but I didn't. Anyway, it was just you could tell it's a real outfit, that they really do trips. And so, yeah, before I went to Antarctica, I had this idea that like, well, you have to, because the Antarctic Treaty says you have to do this EPA study, and it's like $1 million to do it. So I was like, nobody can go down there. You can't go down there because who's going to pay the $1 million? And even when Will Duffy came out and said, hey, we're going to take flat earthers down there, I'm like, who's paying the $1 million? This is ridiculous. And Will Duffy's not going to pay $1 million. Well, I didn't even know that these touring companies or these travel agencies, they're the ones who did it. So ALE paid $1 million whenever they started 20 years ago or something and said, hey, here's what we'll do with the shit. Here's what we'll do with piss. Here's what we'll do with garbage. Here's what we'll do with food waste, because the treaty says you have to get it all off the continent. So once they paid that and they've done the EPA, now they can take people down there that don't have to do the EPA study because you are going with their rules. So I had to shit in the bucket and piss in the tub, and you have to do all these things because then they pack it up and they take it off the island or off the continent.
Wow.
So it's like you learn that they're an actual major outfit, and then when you go to the Punta Arenas airport and you realize there's like a separate section for this special plane that they take people, because it leaves basically like, I think it flies there twice a week and flies back twice a week. But it's always the same trip. If you go on the 11th, you come back on the 11th, because they can't even turn off the plane. If they turn off the plane, it will freeze. So the plane has to stay running. So, and another thing, you can't have the fuel there to like refuel a big 757 jet. So usually when you fly a plane, when it lands, it's almost empty. It's very low in gas. That's how they do it. To keep it safe, right? You don't want to land a plane that's full of gas. But in the Antarctic one, you have to land it half full of gas because you have to turn around and come back. So they don't refuel the plane there. So just there's a lot of things that you learn. There's only one pilot that flies that route. It's the same guy every time. And he has total control of when they leave and when they don't. And so you just learn that like you've been here at your desk behind your computer making comments about the South and saying that the South isn't real and that there's no 24-hour sun. And you don't realize that there's this whole other world out there where people are actually doing commerce. People are making money. People are taking crews down there. People have been working there 15, 20 years every season. And so you just realize how kind of dumb you are, how kind of aloof you are to really what's really going on, right? And then I start realizing, like, man, for it to be a lie, I'm just thinking about talking to myself now. That's an impossible lie to keep. If you're like, oh, the sun down here, it sets, but we're going to tell everybody it doesn't. Okay, well, you can only get away with that for so long until somebody figures it out. And so we're supposed to believe that then all these people down in the South are all lying, and the government keeps secrets by paying people millions of dollars and telling them to keep secrets. That's not how you keep secrets. If you have any secrets right now that nobody knows about, it's because you didn't tell anybody. You don't have secrets because you paid people not to say anything, because somebody will say something. So where's the whistleblower telling us that the earth is flat? Where's these people coming out saying, hey guys, here's how they tricked us. Here's the mathematics. Here's the change coordinates that they do so that we can fake being on a curved earth when we're on. Nobody's ever come forward like that. And so that tells me something.
So it's mainly the like sky observations for you that turned you away from it.
It's just that the South is what we're taught. And so I don't think you can be a flat earther and believe that. And so it just doesn't work for me. I believed in the flat earth because I thought that the South was a lie. So if I would have known what I know now, I would have never been a flat earther. Because when we went looking for like, wait, is there a 24-hour sun in the South? Because if there is one in the North and there is one in the South, that sounds like a symmetrical thing. Doesn't seem like it would be working on a flat earth. But when you go look and you only find one video and you can find out that it's edited, it's very easy to say, that's why it's edited. It's edited because you're faking it. So you can build this whole idea, this whole theory around the idea that the South is not what we're taught. So when I went down there, I remember telling Whitsitt, I was like, dude, look, even if the sun does circle us down there, we'll be able to find enough anomalies that will come back and be able to show that the globe is not right. And that's not what happened. I went down there and couldn't find an anomaly. And so that's when you just get reality slap you in the face and be like, if everywhere you go in the South, it matches what the globe model says it will. And again, I get what you're saying where you're like, oh, well, I do believe that the South sky is what they say it is. What I want you to realize is that it couldn't be that unless where they say you're standing is correct. So because
it's hard to envision from like a third person perspective, like from the outside, how the position of these things would actually be.
Yeah,
it's symmetrical, like there's a pole and it's revolving around one point.
Right.
So
yeah, if you
I
go back and watch from the beginning of this show, I did show some things that you might want to look at, some Andrew Marsh's model that really shows you the symmetry of the earth. And I get that somebody might watch me do that and they might say, oh, that's just a lie. It's just a computer program. The difference is you can go verify. So that's what you should do. If you're a truther, you should say, wait, Jaren's saying here's this model that shows us that the North and the South are complete polar opposites. Then I want to go and disprove that model. And all you have to do is find somewhere on the earth that doesn't match that. And nobody will ever do that because it's mapped perfectly. That's why everything makes sense. And that's why everything has a description or a definition or an explanation rather. So anyway, I do appreciate you calling, and come back and let's find your 5 best flat earth proofs or something, and any problems that you have with the globe, and let's talk about it.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me up, man. Have a good night.
You too. Peace. All right. We are going to end it because there's nobody else here. And we'll end it with the song and head out of here. I do appreciate everybody being here. TikTok, follow me if you would like. If you don't do that. If you have questions, oh wait, let me see. We have who's that? Fine. What does that say? Oh, Fire Demon. You're back. He says, Jeranism, the only truther looking for the truth. Hey, I've said that. I just know that, the truth movement is just such a joke to me now. And I hate to say that because I do have a lot of the same opinions still, but it cannot be a real truth movement, because you can't have a truth movement and a bunch of truthers and then somebody say, hey, I'm going on a trip to verify what we believe. And then you go down on a trip and you come back and you tell the truth. And then those people will refuse to accept that. They're not truthers. But what the hell? How can I be a truther, go on a trip, come back and tell the truth, and now I'm hated by every truther? Then the truth movement isn't real. The truth movement is a grift. The truth movement is a way for people to get money off of you. And what I'm saying will hurt their pocketbooks. So they choose to keep lying to you. Now, you as the person who watches the content, it's up to you to realize that these people are not honest. And some people have noticed that. Why? Well, Eric Dubé, who has his 200 proofs, and in his 200 proofs, 4 or 5 of them are the no 24-hour sun in the South. So what did he do when we found out we were going down there? He said now, oh, it doesn't matter, and Jaren's a shill. But what do you mean it doesn't matter? How could it not matter if it's in your book? It's 4 or 5 proofs. So what he did is called a flip-flop. And then he said, if the sun sets, it doesn't prove that the globe is wrong. What the heck? What? So the only person that would ever do that, the only person that would ever say before we went on the trip, oh, it doesn't matter, and even if the sun sets, it doesn't mean the globe is false, anybody who means that they knew that we would see it. So Eric Dubé knows damn well that the earth is not flat. He knows damn well that his proofs are all plagiarized. He knows damn well that he lies about them, and that's why he has to flip-flop. And you know what else he knows? He knows you guys don't fucking care. You guys will still follow him. You'll still support him. Everything. Why? Because you're flat earthers, and flat earthers are not looking for the truth. He knows that. I didn't know that. I found out the hard way. But same thing with Mark Sargent. These people are not... Mark Sargent is the furthest from a truther that there's ever been. Okay? He is telling lies on his program. Dave Weiss is telling lies to children in schools. Same with Angels of Shite. They're getting debunked. They keep saying the same thing. They refuse to face facts. You got the garbage pail kids that are out there trying to get clickbait, trying to get people to look bad so that they can feel like their belief still has legs, and it doesn't. Mark my words. I'm telling you, the earth will never be flat. Ever. Do you see any other flat earther that's been a flat earther for 10 years telling you that? I'll tell it to your face. The earth will never be flat. Ever. It can't. You'll never wake up one day and they figure you're not bringing anything to the world, number one. So it's like if a new belief is going to come and supplant the old one, it's going to take an observation like the sun setting in the south. If that would have happened, boy, would we have had something. We would have come back, look at the sunsets, it would have caused the whole world to flip out. What do you mean? It can't do that if the Earth's a globe. Right, so the globe's falsified. Great. That was my goal. That was what I thought might happen. That's what I felt was going to happen. I actually thought that the trip was going to be canceled. But anyway, as it got closer and closer, it's like, oh, shit. And then and then you meet the ALE people, and you get the boarding passes, and you're having orientation, and they're meeting you at the hotel, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is a real thing. This is a real travel agency. They're really going to take us there. And then you realize they're not going to take us there to see the sunset. So, we knew on the plane that we were going to go see the sun. And we still were looking for anomalies or something, and there just wasn't any. It was just... and then to see all the... you're expecting when you're there, okay, what are flat earthers going to say? It's when I made my little speech when I said, hey, sometimes in life you're wrong. I thought that there was no 24-hour sun, and there is. And I was trying to get people to think about it, get out there and maybe draw a new map or come up with something. And instead, they went to, it's fake, it doesn't matter. You guys faked it. What? What do you mean we faked it? How would we? It's not even possible. Look at all the footage. I did live streaming every day. I'll show you that real quick just so you guys can see, because people still think there's no proof that they were even there. That's from people who don't want the truth. Just so you know. If people are telling you that there's no, I'll check that out 1 second. If there's people telling you that there's no proof that where we were or something like that, they are lying to you. So if you go to my channel here, can you guys see that? I don't know. Here's my channel on YouTube. Go to live streams, and then go back to December 14th or thereabouts. Let's go here and starting about here. Okay, so you'll see that this is a couple days before. Oh, you can't see that good. Let me try this one instead. Hold on. Let me add the scene, and let's go with the browser solo. This one. Take up the whole screen. That's easier. All right. Thank you very much. Another 10 memberships from Grug. Grug, you are awesome. Is that all everybody cashing in right there with a little sound? Okay, so you'll see here, this is Antarctica Bound. This is us having a little conversation before we left. I think it was probably, I don't know, I don't remember, 3 days, 4 days, I don't remember. And then this is when we went live the first time we were in Punta Arenas. So this is right when we arrived there. This would be on the 11th, okay? And then this here was live our second day from Punta Arenas. This is the 12th. This is live from Punta Arenas the third day. This is the 13th. This is live from Union Glacier. I was the first one to go. In fact, I don't even know if you can find a live stream from somebody before me in Antarctica. This is right when we got there. I was the first one to go live. Let's go with the story. Oh yeah, Jaron was the first one ever to go live. Hey, how about that? Never was anything before him. So that's the employee tent land. We're told not to go in there. Where's that? So, and then people, everything that you hear from people is just them not understanding anything. It's like there's one little clip that they had that I was looking at a compass upside down and everybody flipped out about it. It's like they don't even think that is the brightest place on the earth. The brightest place on the earth is right there. And it was a see-through compass, one of those like plexiglass ones. It's like these guys lose their mind because I'm looking at it upside down. It's like, dipshit, I have glasses on in the brightest place in the world. And you guys can't figure that out. It's like, oh, it must mean that the north. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's pretend that it did mean that. Let's pretend that the north was actually behind me and the south was in front of me. Big deal. The sun went around my head for 4 days. It doesn't matter what north is or south is. It went around me. Hello. And when it was south of us, it was above Australia's head. End of story. Anyway, going back to here. Oh, you come on. I want to go back to the right spot. So I'm just showing you every single day I was down there, we live streamed. So you can watch me interact with the audience. There is no way it could be fake. And yet flat earth researchers, that's the conclusion they came to. Okay, guys. Here's the first day in in Union Glacier. Here's the second day after I'd seen the sun. So it says Antarctica, where the sun doesn't set. And then this is the, what are we at now? 15? Yep. And then this is the final day before we left, the 16th. And then here's when I got back on Christmas Eve. I did a special where I wasn't even going to say here that I was a globe believer or a glober. This was me saying I was no longer a flat earther, but I wasn't at that point yet. I didn't fully feel that that was the case yet. I just knew I wasn't a flat earther. And then this is a speaker's corner. But then then I went through these flatlined episodes. Through the Friday Unplugged episodes. And again, if you talk to like Snake Turban Head, there's a bunch of people that will tell you that these videos, these Friday Unplugs, are the reason that they're no longer flat earther. Okay, there was a total of 12 of them, and I went through every single week and touched why, flatlined, FE community reveal, showing people what they were like. Then here it's why the path of the sun should tell you the shape, why the path of the sun should be the end of flat earth. The falsification of the only flat earth map. If you don't realize that the flat earth map, the AE map, is the only flat map that can exist, watch that video. You'll learn that there is no other map. There's no other map coming. Time to get out of the flat earth. There's one map and it doesn't work. End of story. There's one map and I've proved to you that it can never be another map and it doesn't work. So therefore, the flat earth in total is gone. Falsified. Debunked. Then you've got responding to those who say the trip was fake. Oh, by the way, this is good to watch too. This is a live SpaceX launch that from my house, 188 miles.
Liftoff of this Falcon 9 rocket.
Sorry, 188 miles from Vandenberg. And when I watch the thing launch, we don't see it until about 1 minute and 5 seconds after it launched. And it doesn't like hit the horizon slowly. It hits the horizon at a pretty good clip. It's moving. And you're like, wait a second. Where was it for a minute and 5 seconds? Then you do the math and you figure out what? It's 130. About 34,000 feet below me is where that rocket takes off. And when you do the math on it and you figure it out, you're like, oh, and the place that you see it is exactly where it would be at that height when you see it hit the horizon. So clearly, the rocket is launched from 34,000 feet below my feet. Clearly. So anybody can make up whatever. You know what Dave Weiss said? Dave Weiss came along and said, oh, it's actually because there's a wall of clouds 20,000 feet high that block the rocket until it gets to that height. It's like, and nobody cared. You go look at his video, everybody's agreeing with him. They don't realize that that completely debunks every long distance observation you guys have. Like Canigou and those kind of places. How could Canigou, which is 9,000 feet high, be seen from 185 miles away if Dave says there's 20,000 foot clouds that hide rockets that are 34,000 feet in the sky? So he makes a video that debunks Canigou and the long distance observations, and nobody cares. Steve Falconer from Spacebusters makes a video called Scamartica 1, 2, and 3 or something. Every one of those videos proves the Earth is a sphere conclusively. And yet, if you go read the comments, everybody's there thinking he proved the flat Earth. It's like, this is how clueless. They didn't even watch the video. He's talking about all the 24-hour times of the 24-hour sun are all different at all these places. It's like, yeah, but you just proved that all of those places see the 24-hour sun. That's what the contention is, Steve. So if you just prove that they all have a 24-hour sun, he's like, oh, this one's 4 minutes off, this one's off 3 minutes. Yeah, some of them have mountains, some of them have valleys. Get over it. 4 minutes is not debunking the globe. Give me a break. Anyway, that's the SpaceX launch there. And then, but if you finish off with the, where were we at here? I think this is the one that's, is this the one that you can actually see it happen?
I don't really understand these numbers a whole lot yet. This is kind of...
Yeah, this is the thing going off in the sky there.
Wow, look at that shot. All
so you can see that's my camera and
Merlin engines
filming
firing
it,
right there, and we have such a great live shot of it.
And then I can watch the separation.
So to sync this, you just have to basically get home
I'm syncing
and then, find out where the lights go out, if you will, for main engine cutoff, and then sync that, and you're usually pretty good. This one was a pretty easy one to sync.
Here it goes. It's going to do separation.
Because remember, when the lights go out, so I'm watching that rocket. So there's no more rockets are fake. The rockets are balloons. That's garbage. That is kindergarten garbage from Dave Weiss. Knock it off. Okay, these rockets, anybody can watch them. So you can be anywhere in California, basically. I mean, I wouldn't go too far north of me because it's still, you can see it's kind of hard to see. But think about that. I'm 100. When have you ever filmed something 188 miles away? You haven't. So go do that. Go film a rocket from 188 miles and watch when you see it hit the horizon. Let me go back and watch that, actually.
No, don't lose it. Don't lose it, Jaron. Okay, it's out.
That's me talking live.
Perfect timing. There's that call from the vehicle.
So I usually go live not go live. I usually start the camera, a couple minutes early. Sony camera, which is also difficult to see. You can see right here the horizon. I can see it on my camera, but on my video, but I don't really see it on the replay. Anyway, let's go ahead.
So watch. This rocket takes off.
Spear-X and Punch on their way
This is synced.
to map out our universe like never before.
Okay, this is synced, meaning that I'm watching it from the ground here 188 miles away. Remember, I'm looking at a horizon. So where's this rocket? It's already way up in the sky, and I'm sitting here waiting for it 188 miles away, and it's not even at the horizon yet. And you're going to see it here appear at a minute and 5 seconds. I mean, and if you were closer than me, say you're 160 miles, you would have seen it in a minute. And then a person that's 140 miles would have seen it at 55 seconds. And a person that's 120 miles would see it at 40, so on and so forth. It matches exactly the shape of the Earth, the globe model. And then the only option for flat Earth is to take Dave Weiss's debunking of every single long distance observation by pretending that there's 20,000 foot clouds that shrink down to the size of the horizon and block rockets. Doesn't even make sense. And yet nobody's cared. That should make everybody walk away from flat Earth. Dave Weiss is lying to you with bullshit things that, if they were true, debunk everything else you believe in. But yet, people still stay there. So let's see if we see it here in a second. Okay, so watch. You'll see it appear here in a second. You can see the horizon now. See it right about there-ish. And what are we at? We're at a minute 12. A minute 12. Now you see it appear there. What did I go to? Oh, that's me zooming in on it. And I've done this about 3 or 4 times, and there's been a couple that I could have done recently, but the weather's terrible. I mean, it's like it's overcast, it's gross, so it has to be during the summer, I think. But you'll see that this syncs up. So I'm filming it from the ground. I've already synced it when I did this video, but I'll show you when the lights go out. Where are we at here? But you'll see it shut off, and you'll see it come back. And there. So, when main engine cutoff comes on, that's how you sync them. Because, again, remember, I can't see when it's launched. And when you're watching the telecast on YouTube or whatever, it's a delay. So you would never know really exactly when it's launched. The only way to do it is to just film it when you see it, and then go match up right here, watch it. See, I've already matched them, so they're both going to go out at the same time. See, there we go. And then it's going out. Same one as that one goes out. Now they're both out. And then they go relight. So as long as you sync those, and you'll see I sync those fine, now it's going to relight and relight right about... Oh, I paused it. Come on, Jaron, stop talking. Too long-winded. Hurry up, stop talking. Let's go. What am I doing? Stop talking.
And I was thinking I wouldn't want to use the infrared, but I think now that it would have been good to use the infrared last night. I would have liked to seen... I already have a contraption out there. I bought one of those, I don't know what they're called, like a bar, an extender bar or something for the tripod, and then the tripod has on top of it, several different things that can go on there, so they're all on the same tripod. So I'm basically just moving one tripod and getting all the camera footage from each camera. But it does make for a little questionable thing because, again, it was dark too, so I wouldn't have been able to change a lot of settings on the camera. It's kind of is what it is. But the next one, March 18th, point for that 40,000 feet or whatever. The flat Earth has to come up with an explanation as to why it takes an additional, and I don't remember where that was. Where was it when it was only
minute and 12, I think. Anyway, back to these lives. So, and there's another one. Is it this one? I probably been on the wrong one the whole time. There's one that was really good that you could see.
We don't need this anymore. Later.
Just tear this down. There was one that was great.
Here at the,
is this one?
It's paused it. Whoops. Paused.
There's one that was really good. Oh, and then I went to GeoGebra and...
No, don't zoom in there. Okay, there.
Hold on, I think
okay,
I do.
Let's watch this.
Oh, this is with the infrared.
I saw it right there. Let's go back a little bit. So, I mean, even if you went back and said 30 seconds, which is way too early, because look at, I don't see it there. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Still don't see it. There it is. Right there. So you're talking, I mean, you could say 42, 41.
And see how it's already moving up?
But you cannot go further than that.
So you can't say that it was sitting here, because remember, the Earth's flat. This is where it took off from. So why would it be that it takes 40 to 60 seconds until it, and then when it hits there, it's moving. So you can calculate that it's moving from down here. It's coming from down here, down here, down here, down here, and then you see it. You can't say, oh, it just was sitting here. My wife said something funny. She called it Vanish Land. She's like, the only thing I can think of is it's in Vanish Land for a minute and 5 seconds. I'm like, yeah, it's just vanished. It just doesn't exist really for the first, well, that doesn't work. There's, which one's that one? Oh, it's just more looking at that.
But take a curved path to optimize their orbit path, so you are right. Yeah, but I'm wondering.
And then
so 49, how high?
This is like a GeoGebra model, just where I was able to, right there, show what would happen on a flat Earth and what would happen on a globe Earth, and obviously it matches the globe. So anyway, check those out if you care to, and watch the Friday Unplugged. And again, I don't expect anybody to, because I don't think anybody's a truther. Now, if somebody that was a flat earther for 10 years went to Antarctica, told me that they saw a 24-hour sun, and told me they were now a glober, and then said, hey, I've got 12 videos explaining why I believe that, the first thing I would do is go watch that, because I'm a truther. See the difference? I wouldn't block that person and be like, I'm not watching that person's stuff. No. I would go... nope, not that one. I was trying to see. There's one of these SpaceX launches. I did like 5 of them, but there's one that's really, really good where you can see it perfectly. That's the one that's a minute and 5 seconds. I just don't remember which one it is. Anyway, check those out. There's the Friday Unplugged. And, this is about Mark Sargent being a liar. This is Dave Weiss's leaky app. Was it Serum Punch Launch?
And again, that's the horizon lines.
I don't know. Okay. I think we already looked at this one.
The light man engine cutoff was.
So anyway, check that out. And that's if you care. But if you just are here to sit and, TikTok lives and make fun of people and say that person got cooked and this person got cooked and, then you can do that. Enjoy yourself. This is Talking with Wolfie, and Duffy came on to talk about planes. And, not Duffy. It was Wolfie and Robert Greenland. And then the end too. And then I kind of went on with some other ones. Top 50 list for, that's Being Better Man. Has nothing to do with it. And, again, Blue Origin being faked. You guys just bought into Flat Earth derp if there ever was some. That is a glorified carnival ride. They throw people up really high and let them float down. That's it. And people are like, oh, it's fake. Oh, it's fake. What is fake? You can watch the video. They're in a little capsule. They get shot up in the sky. So all those people faked it because you saw one little door open malfunction where they were supposed to leave it for Jeff to open and the person from the inside opened it. That's it. Everything else was a lie. Like, oh, it's a mannequin hand. Oh, really? Then you go look it up. Yeah. In 2017, they sent a mannequin up there. So you found a video of the mannequin hand from 2017. And then you told people that it was from, and guys, let me just tell you, if you're a flat earther, you believe so many lies. So many that it took me a while to figure it out. It took me till after Antarctica. It took this guy right here, Nathan Thompson. Him and I started looking, or he started looking into something. You know that video that has an astronaut drop a screw in the bathroom? Complete fabrication. Find the original video. No screw drops. It's been faked by a flat earther. So you have flat earthers out there faking footage to make you think that they're finding NASA making errors, and they're not. Okay, the little one where there's a little astronaut sitting to, or a little guy sitting to the side of the astronauts, that's fake. They're faking evidence to you. Now, I don't know. Part of me thinks it could be Globers doing it to make fun of you. They're like, well, let's fake this, and then we'll show them the flat earthers this, and they'll buy it. Well, of course you will. You thought that Blue Origin was fake, which makes no sense. There's people there, people all watching it. So again, flat earth makes you start believing that these things are possible. They're not possible. Okay, you cannot have a rocket launch with a bunch of people watching and it be fake. And then the rocket comes down and lands, and then people show up in cars and the people get out of there. What the hell did it come from? Oh, well, it came from a plane in the sky. Then why wouldn't they just launch? They just threw them up there and came down. A plane would be probably, increasing the impossibility of it. It's just not, you're not thinking anymore. I don't know how to explain it. Again, the Project Fishbowl, they launched nukes at the sky. We just all said that. Nobody thought about it. Like, so wait, they were trying to kill us all? The goal was to break the dome and let all the water in and flood the world? I don't think that's what they were doing. Sorry. The government may be psychotic. They're not trying to flood the entire world. So that's gone. So there's so many things like that where our beliefs are, people say like, oh, we went to the moon the first time and got it right. No, they went to the moon many times without people in there. Apollo 7 or 8 and 9 and 10, these were all practice runs until they put people in there. So it's not okay to say they just went every time and got it perfect. Or, Nixon called the moon from a landline. No. Nope. Something that was doing in the 1910s is what they did, was basically call NASA, and NASA patched it through the radio. It's not. So all that you believe that you think are these gotchas are not. Bart Seibel and his little, they weren't halfway to the moon, has been so thoroughly debunked. It's a garbage claim. Bart Seibel has no idea what he's talking about. Dave McKeegan has made it painfully obvious of exactly what was going on there. And it doesn't even make sense. Like he said, oh, and they put a transparency out the window, and that was the Earth that you saw was through a transparency. But they were in orbit, according to Seibel. So why aren't the clouds moving? They're moving extremely fast across the Earth, and that's the Earth through this transparency, but the cloud, they're just sitting there. They're not moving. So what's going on there? Somebody might say, oh, well, they were in a plane. A plane moves fast enough that the clouds below you move. So if you had a transparency out the window, you would see the clouds moving on the Earth. We didn't see that. Why? Well, in my opinion now, they were halfway to the moon. So, again, and you might say, oh, Jaron, how could you ever believe in the moon? That's ridiculous. I can't believe you go there. Yeah, well, when you've seen people like flat earthers have such a shitty response and Like they were as sure about me faking my trip as they were about the moon landing being faked. And they were dead wrong. And in fact, I could understand you saying the moon landing was wrong because there's one video. We didn't bring back one video. We bring back all these 360 videos filming each other with live streams with, I mean, give me a break. And if you can't get that right, well then you know, how are you ever gonna get the moon right? And then I had Dave McKeegan on my show and he said, bring all the flat earth evidence you can. So I asked my audience, hey guys, bring all the fake moon landing evidence. So I asked my audience, hey guys, give me all the evidence that you can that we didn't go to the moon. And all I got was messages from people saying like, man, you're going to kill him. Of course we didn't go to the moon. I said, okay, I know that, but can you give me some evidence? Because that's what Dave wants. I'm going to present evidence and he's going to reboot it. And they're like, you don't need evidence. Of course, it's easy, man. It's easy to know we didn't go. Yeah, I know that, but I need to present something. Wow, we called the moon from a landline? No, it's got to be better than that. Well, we haven't gone back. Okay, well, that doesn't mean shit. If I went to Mexico 50 years ago and haven't been back, is that proof that I didn't go to Mexico 50 years ago? No, it's not. Sorry. So your so-called evidence against the moon landing is just your inability to see past liars. That's really the truth. Bart Cybrell is lying to you. Okay? Go watch these astronauts. And everybody who tells you Buzz Aldrin's always saying that he didn't go to the moon, go watch those things. That's not what he's saying. You're just listening to clips by flat earthers trying to trick you. Now, is Buzz Aldrin an alcoholic and did he become yes. I mean, I made plenty of videos about that. The guy's out of his rocker. He's like standing in front of a school of children and he's like, oh, I remember where I was in the 60s when I had to shoot the Japs out of the sky. It's like, Buzz, man, can we drink after the children's conference here? Please. And he tries to spell STEAM. STMEA. Oh, it's so funny. I miss those videos. I miss those days of making fun of Buzz. But now, and now I get it. Buzz punched Aldrin in the face. I mean, Buzz punched Cybrell in the face. And I get it. I get it. If somebody tries to come up to me and tell me, you didn't go to Antarctica, you're a liar and a thief, they're going to get socked in the face. Sorry. All right. Much love to you guys. Check out the stuff on my channel. I do appreciate you guys being here and all the support over there. Thank you, Grug, for the 20 memberships that you purchased. That's awesome. And Freedom, thank you very much again. Charlie, you're awesome. Fits of Rage, thank you so much. I'm Daniels, 1532, thank you. 414 Comedy, thank you very much. And Flurf TV. Too funny. All right, we are heading out. I do appreciate you guys being here. We're going to listen to the song one more time. And what is today? Saturday. I don't know what I have coming up. Check in. I think I got something on Tuesday. I'm supposed to do something Tuesday, I think. All right. Much love to you guys. I do remind you to please do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe that you can't tell the shape of the sky by looking at the ground. You can. That's called evidence. That's what we do. And it tells you that it cannot be flat. It is a sphere. Is it weird living on a sphere? Yes. Is it unexpected? Sure. Is it fact? Absolutely. And that's the most important thing. Love you guys. And TikTokers, you have a chance to save yourself. Get away from the TikTok garbage pail kids. It will do nothing for your life. If you remain a flat earther, 1 year from now, you will have less money. You will have less friends. You will have less family members. You'll have less of a job. You'll have your life will be worse. I'm telling you, your life will be worse. If you don't believe me, mark this date on your calendar. Get into your phone right now. Go to your calendar. Go to next year. Go to this date. And write, is my life better than it was a year ago being a flat earther? And you'll remember me telling you that it certainly will not. Much love, guys. This has been Jeranism. Let's listen to... Oh, no, I can't listen. God darn it. I wanted to listen to my soundboard, and it's not working yet.
They see, they smell, and they cannot spell. The kings of the dumpster fire straight out of hell. Reality rejects, don't care about truth. They are fearful of facts, they're allergic to proof. TikTok's worst, kids with noses full of snot. Confidence is high, but their IQ's not. Short attention span, they can't finish a thought. For clip-on truthers, truth matters not. They don't want truth, or they wouldn't tell lies.
They stink. Peace.